Hope everybody is doing well and having a lovely day. I know I sure am. How's everybody doing? Everybody rocking and rolling? Hopefully. The South Park song. Oh, well, the South Park songs get copyright struck all the time. I wouldn't know anything about that, of course. I have no idea, actually. Never heard of that before, if I'm being honest. Yeah, the South Park songs always get copyright struck. It's always a juggling act to get a song that's catchy, but also that doesn't get copyright struck. It's a juggling act, if we're being honest. Let me paste this in here so I have my chat. Voila. Beautiful. Love it. Boom. Censor, this is my first time catching one of your streams. Super excited. Awesome. Glad to have you. Rhapsody music. Oh, Rhapsody stream. I mean, as of right now, the guy I have chipping away at stuff is like super freaking busy, and he's also based out of Ukraine, so I'm not trying to push it too hard. And I can't really justify hiring a ton of extra people to work on it because it has returned like absolutely nothing, and so it's kind of a labor of love at this point. So you know, it's clinging to life. So people also ask me about It's the Lag, which we used to do with Cammy and Jacob, kind of a gaming news thing. And long story short, basically just the team was not super in love with, well, the team loved doing it. Like me, Jacob, Cammy, we loved working on it. Cammy didn't love being in front of the camera. I totally get that. She had to deal with some real creepers, and it was so much effort for so little reward that it just didn't really make sense to pour a ton of effort into it. So, you know, kind of just happened that way. Evie, good to see you. Hello, Schmex. Yeah, well, some people were saying you can gift memberships. Other people were saying you can't. I have no idea. Yeah, Devin's like, I can't gift. That's Devin always was extremely generous on Twitch. For everybody wondering, yes, we are trying YouTube. We might change back over, depending on feedback from this week. I'm not sure. You have to enable it. I have to enable it. Mother trucker with a dipstick, dude. Membership levels, links to share. I don't. I don't see an option for turning on gifted links. And I talk about memberships. Turn on members only chat. Create a public post. I don't know. I don't freaking know. Who knows? Who can tell? I do like a lot of stuff about YouTube streaming. I will be real. The emotes aren't working quite right. The notifications also for memberships and for super chats are really inconsistent. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I don't know why. The fact that they work sometimes shows that it's set up correctly because it's getting the feedback. I don't know. It's confusing to me. Streaming on the main channel, what we've found was that when I do like casual streams like this and regular streams on the main channel, people, oh, thank you, Rocky. People start to be like, if they're not interested in say live streams, it's just not their thing, then they're like, oh, so that's what you're doing now. You're just like becoming, yeah, you're just doing that completely dedicated. Okay, I get that. I have to be a brand account. Okay. Within the live chat, tap allow gifts. Participants. Yeah. Anyway, everything that, everything I've seen just doesn't seem to make it the engagement will drop a lot if you're not careful. Your brand accounts. Okay. I see. So I will have to convert. I see what it is. I will have to convert this YouTube channel into a brand account, which is fine. I can totally do that. But I think we have to do that off stream. I don't think I can do that while streaming, as far as I know. So we can fix that, but it's probably something I have to fix elsewhere. Community permissions. No, this channel is not for kids. Advanced change, view change. It's so confusing. This whole thing is such a it's bizarre. Advanced settings? No, that's not it. Okay, move channel to a brand account. That makes sense. That checks out. Watch as we do this, and then like everything just falls apart the moment I click the button. The barf my butt thing still kills me. Yeah. You know what? He timed it well. Now he's immortalized. Barf my butt. Your channel is being moved. You can move your channel. Okay. Okay, so it did something. YouTube channel being moved. This is a channel that will be moved. Okay. Permissions demanded. Before you can move this channel, you have to remove their access. Okay. Oh, it's so confusing. Permissions. Remove. Proceed. Oh my god. Schmex, my job is unknowingly paying me to watch League Live. You gotta love it. Yeah, this is what we come to Luke for, fiddling with the settings. Yeah, for real. Well, it's always amazed me. Like, I pop into other streamers, and like I popped into one guy, and I forget who it was. It was like a big guy with tens of thousands of people in chat. And the stream was going, the chat was going crazy. And then he's literally just on his phone, like leaning back, like scrolling TikToks as he has like hundreds of subs coming in and thousands of dollars coming in. It was just like, it was genuinely a little baffling. I was like, oh, like, huh, who'd have thunk it? I guess when you're at that level, you can just do that. Choose an account to move this channel to. Okay, this, I don't want to fiddle with this without looking at it carefully, because it's saying replace press start with this one. That doesn't make sense to me, and I could see that going very badly very quickly. So I'm going to hold off on that until we're off stream and I can read through the fine print. But rest assured, we will figure out the gifted memberships thing. I appreciate you guys asking about it. I do. Did you take your sword outside and play with it before putting it on the wall? It's all right, to be honest. We won't judge. I have to get it sharpened first. I want to chop down a tree with it. Yeah, sorry to hear about the stolen PS5. Yeah, still haven't heard anything. So for all of these claims, for the claim process, you have to, I forgot to put it on silent. Look at me, noob. You have to basically report to the deliverer that it's missing, that you didn't get it. And then they do a little investigation. And then you have to, like, they look at it and then they send a note to the sender and say, hey, look, the guy never saw it. Can you verify you sent it to the right address, printed the right thing? And then they go, yeah, we'll look into it. But then you have to go and check with the sender and verify, like, you have to sign all this paperwork saying you didn't get it. So yesterday, after all of this time, it's been like 2 weeks now, probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks, that I haven't had it. And so I contacted Sony. It's extremely hard to get a hold of Sony, by the way, like stupid difficult. I contacted Sony finally and just told them what was going on once I found the live chat. And they just very quickly, within like 5 minutes, were like, okay, we have hardware locked the device, so it's not usable. And we have begun our investigation. And one of the members of our team will be out within the next like 5 business days, and we'll call you and chat with you about stuff. I was like, awesome. Awesome. You know, because I'm sure they get people who try to scam them and say, oh, I never got it delivered, and are still using it. And so they do hardware bans. And so they lock that specific PS5 from ever being used, which I find delicious. Like, I just imagine whoever took it is like got home from work, sat down on the couch to play some Last of Us Part 1. And then it's hardware locked, and it's like, this device has been reported stolen. They're probably freaking out right now and like burning the thing, which is just, yeah, chef's kiss. Just couldn't happen to a nicer guy. But theoretically, they should be able to see that hardware where it was last located, like down to the IP address. So they should be able to figure out who stole it. And it wouldn't be that hard, like, oh, it was at this address that it was last played at, and that happens to be like the address of the guy that works at UPS that last had his hands on it. So they're gonna get the guy, you know, they're gonna catch the guy. There's no doubt. And it's just dumb. Like the UPS driver, like I said in that video, the UPS driver told me, oh yeah, no, they usually will press charges for theft, and it's like mail theft. So it's not an easy thing. Like you're looking at years in prison for that. Then after you get out of prison and you've lost your job, UPS is going to sue you for like millions for damaging the brand. And so like you get out of prison and then you have to deal with a lawsuit that you're going to lose, and you're going to be just like totally screwed. And it just couldn't happen to a nicer guy. You know, I'm so heartbroken over it. So hopefully they figure it out and soon fix it. I just, for some people, they had this happen. Like I heard, I told you guys way back when I got my PS5 from, was it Walmart? I think it was Walmart. I'm pretty sure. Because it was like Walmart in Loveland, Colorado. But I went out to get the PS5 and it was like curbside pickup because we were still in the middle of COVID. And so I pulled up to the spot, I marked here, and then waited like 10 minutes. And the guy that brought out the PS5, like bear hugging it as he walks to the car. And somebody else was with him and was like escorting him to my car. And I was like, well, I kind of joked with him. I was like, yeah, I appreciate you holding on to it so hard. You know, something like that. I don't remember. But he basically said to the effect like, oh, well, we had a case where somebody like ran up and ripped a PS5 out of the hands of somebody that was doing the curbside pickup. So we just are extra careful and we have somebody else walk and we go with it. It's like, I didn't think of that, but apparently like as they're carrying the PS5 out to the cars, they had people sprint up, grab it out of their hands, the poor minimum wage worker, and then jump in a car and race off. Which is unbelievable, but it happens. Like, it's kind of horrifying that happens, but it sure does. Let's see, James. Hey man, first time here on live. I was only watching your longer videos so far. Great content, man. Best regards. Appreciate you coming by, my friend. Glad to have you. Censor, whoa, you live in Colorado? I actually want to visit or maybe even live there when I'm older. Yeah, I actually do. I do love me some Colorado. I have had the urge to go and like check out, like, I don't know, just something different, like, you know, a coastal city or the UK or something. Like, I like really dreary weather. Like, I like feeling like I'm living in a Tim Burton movie. That's my desire. And you just don't get that in Colorado. And that's one of the reasons people love Colorado, is because it's always sunny, beautiful, sunshiny, everything. It like kind of drains me. Like, people get seasonal depression or whatever, you know, where it gets cold and dark outside and they start feeling cold and dark themselves. For me, it's the opposite. When it's sunny and bright outside, I'm like, this sucks. Screw this. Like, I like The rain, I like the fog, the best thing in the world. And if I could do anything to make this happen permanently, that misty rain, when you walk outside, it's like foggy, and the rain is so fine that it's just like a gentle mist. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love that. Yeah, Florida, I would get the Pacific thing. I wouldn't get the calm, light overcast. You know. Like parts of Florida I've liked, but other parts I really have not liked. So who knows? Who knows? Let me mute this. I've got Discord popping off. Probably not good while we're streaming here. I have a tripod in the way. Okay. So let's see. Let's catch up on this, and then I've got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. And I'm actually pretty excited for all of this. Literally describing the UK from October to March. That's I think why I would love the UK, for real. Don't go to Florida. Ben Shapiro's in Florida. Oh, is he now? I thought he was like in Texas or LA or something. It seems like everybody like that's going to Texas. I don't know. I did live, Sensor, in Texas for like half my childhood. And the rainstorms are nothing to mess with. Like those early or late spring, early summer rainstorms where it rains sideways. Oh, I remember those. Hey, I've never caught you live. Well, D, I'm glad you did. And I'm glad I caught you. I caught the D, you know? Did you see the Last of Us HBO trailer that released the other day? Yes, and we have a clip for the Clips channel going up. I have to schedule all those later today. For those of you not aware, we're going to have like 2 to 3 videos going up daily on this Clips channel. It's going to be a thing. So buckle up. Make sure that you're subscribed if you aren't already. If you want to live in the UK, definitely either up north of England or Wales. I've heard, what was it? We talked about it the other day. Edinburgh. I think that was a really highly recommended place to check out. It's, near the water, and it's also far enough north that you don't have to deal with a lot of the busy living of southern England. I don't know. I think what we would do is we'd do like a month trip, and we would just explore all of England over the month and then just see what we like. Oh, I'm not avoiding Ireland, John. I'm headed there, and I'm going straight to the Guinness factory. You better believe it. You better believe it. I need that fresh Guinness. I can't even tell you, like here in Colorado, all you need to know to understand Colorado is watch South Park. Watch South Park and you'll get it. The soda sopa thing from the later seasons, very accurate. That's basically Fort Collins. It's extremely artsy. Everybody drinks IPA beers, even though nobody likes IPAs. I'm not convinced anybody actually likes IPAs. I think everybody's pretending to like IPAs. And so like when I go up and I say, can I have like a Guinness or one of your darkest beers, like whatever your darkest is, it needs to be an ale. It needs to be something like thickening, blood thickening. And they look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, well, we have this rainy day peach and mandarin IPA infused with honeysuckle. And I'm like, go away. I don't care. Like, I need it to be as dark as the underside of my shoe. If it's not, I don't want to drink it. That's the type of person I am. I went to Denver for the first time a couple of weeks ago, but I was sadly only for an overnight stop due to mechanical troubles with my flight. Really want to actually see Denver. Yeah, I like Denver. I mean, if you're going to come to Colorado though, I think you got to get out of Denver and you've got to go to like Estes Park. If you're a fan of Dumb and Dumber, they filmed the big thing at a wedding venue there. A huge chunk of the movie is filmed at the, oh crap, what's it called? What is that called? Big White Hotel Estes Park. What is it called? The Stanley. Jesus. The Stanley Hotel. The Stanley Hotel is where they filmed a bunch of stuff for Dumb and Dumber, and it's also where Stephen King was staying when he got the inspiration to write The Shining. And it's actually the bar that you can go to. It's down here in the back right of this building. The bar there is where he was sitting when he had the experience that inspired him to do the thing where Jack Nicholson goes and sits at the bar and the weird bartender's there, and it's very surreal, and it's a very famous scene. The inspiration for that was back in the back right of this building where Stephen King was sitting. Weird bartender came out, and it was very, like, it was a staple. So you can go and stay in the hotel. It's a big wedding venue, and it's very nice. You can also do like ghost tours because they're trying to capitalize on that trend. It's a good time. It's a very nice place. This is a better picture of it. That's not like, gives you a much better idea of it. What's weird though is the whole building is like shifted. The whole building is on like a 5 to 10 degree angle because it's built right on rock, but it's wood. So there aren't any like foundations that sink into the ground. I'm sure they've done some reinforcement recently, but when you go upstairs, like you stand in the hallway, it's really trippy. You stand in the hallway that stretches the whole top floor, and you look down the hallway and it's all shifted and angled. It's trippy, but it's because it's a really old building and it's kind of sketchy, and maybe people shouldn't be in there, but I'm sure inspectors have allowed it, so it's probably okay. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Clips channel, this one. Sorry, I had this called Luke Stevens Clips, and then we called it Luke Stevens Live, and I was thinking about calling it more Luke Stevens. I don't know. Maybe we just keep it Luke Stevens Live, and we just keep all of this here. I don't know. Hey man, I wanted to ask you, you need any artists for cooperation? You are making awesome stuff, and I would love to help if there was something. Glad you're more on YouTube now. James, possibly. We currently are investigating lots of ways to blow up into other avenues, like, you know, TikToks and Facebook Live or Facebook video and stuff like that. So we're expanding on that, and if that stuff goes well and we start to have those pop off, then I can justify putting more money into other projects and stuff as well, hiring other people to keep, you know, blowing stuff up. So yeah. Family podcast, how to look at your setup. It's pretty impressive. How long did it take? This thing has been slowly compiled for years and years. Parts of the setup I've been using for like 4 or 5 years. Other parts of it I've had for a day. Like this camera I've had for a day because this one was having so many issues. You see that the marks on the back of that display? That's not a mark. That's after it's been cleaned. That's just what it looks like. And it's because this camera was actually a display model, a display unit at Best Buy, and was used for like a year and a half in the store with every little kid and grandma and grandpa touching it and trying to use it, left on 24/7. The thing was heavily beat up. So I got it for a stupid low price for the camera that it is. And as time has gone by, I've been able to just buy refurbished versions of the same camera because it works really well. So now I have this A7S Mark II, I have this one, and then I have that one. So I have 3 A7S Mark IIs, and they just work really, really well. And because they're like a discontinued unit, you can find them refurbished for pretty cheap, which is very nice. It's very nice. And because they're all Sony, they're all Sony's full frame E-mount compatible. All of my lenses can work on all of them, so it works. What am I eating? I'm eating a Factor meal. Did I throw away the thing? No. A Factor meal. They're not sponsoring me right now. I've had them as a sponsor before, but I just love it, so I use it all the time. And we are having sun-dried tomato chicken fusilli. Fusilli, I think is what it's called. So, yeah. Like I said, we have drama to tackle today, people. We have drama. Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy one. But Mukbang channel, I swear to God, no way. That thing I've never understood. I don't like, I can usually get some stuff like, you know, the weird makeup videos, Jeffree Star, all of that. I get that. I understand why that's popular. I don't get the mukbang. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. That and like even ASMR to a certain extent I can understand. I can understand ASMR. Like maybe especially because like let's be honest, most of the guys that are watching like the super scantily clad women, they're not watching ASMR for like tapping on the microphone. You know, let's be real. But the people who are genuinely just liking ASMR, I can understand that. I like listening to rainscapes when I'm working on stuff. I get that. Mukbangs, zero understanding. I don't I don't get it. I don't get it. Especially like Nikocado. Like I understand like some cases. I watched like my 500 or my 600 pound life, or is that what it's called? I think so. And it was interesting because one of the stories was of a lady and she got into like cam girl stuff and she had a guy that would pay her to eat like a whole like 18-inch pizza or 20, I think it was a 24-inch pizza, like in one sitting. I get it. It's a weird fetish. I don't have the fetish. I don't understand that part of it, but I can understand how if that was your fetish, maybe that would make sense. And then you get caught in it and then you do it to make money. I get that. With like Nikocado, I just don't get it. I don't get who's watching those videos. He still gets like 200,000 views, like 300,000 views on every upload. That's unbelievable. Who is watching that? I don't get it. I mukbang myself. Good for you, Schmex. Yeah, treat yourself. Treat yourself. Oh. Cinematic, ASMR, and creative ones absolutely slaps. Yeah, like the people who actually try. I think ASMR has a bad rep because people see it and like you click on Twitch, ASMR, you sort by that, and you go in and you just see like, I mean, people in hot tubs, like slathering themselves in ketchup. I don't, like, we know what that's appealing to. But with this, I don't know. Gambit Productions, favorite chess openings. I like really sharp dragons. Like really sharp dragons. If I'm being completely honest. That's the future of Twitch. Yeah, honestly, it sounds like a joke. I don't think you're wrong. Because in a year, all of the biggest streamers are going to move to YouTube because they'll make more over here. Let's be honest. It's business at the end of the day. They're going to move over here, bring a flood of new users. And Twitch is going to be left with just the people that can't do what they're doing on Twitch on YouTube. So like heavy React stuff because of copyright stuff. YouTube won't let you get away with it. And like the ASMR, hot tub streams, all of that. You know, that's what it's going to be. Regarding Nikocado, I think people just go to check to see if he's still alive or not. Yeah, I don't know. The guy is an enigma. I just don't understand it. Bro, really sharp dragons and king gambits are my favorite too. Yeah, I'm like, if you're going to play chess, you should have fun with it. If it's not interesting, like I used to, when I played in tournaments, I was like the slowest player on the planet. I would play slow Englishes, you know, just every piece on the board, spend 50 moves carefully rearranging stuff. That's how I played. But nowadays, I'm like, I want to have more fun with it. So I play like super sharp stuff and, you know, it's fun. I'm very, very much out of practice. But I've thought, you know, maybe, especially if we go to like a 5-day-a-week streaming schedule, maybe trying like playing 1 day a week where we just do chess day. That's chess day. And then I try to rev myself up to get ready to go back into tournaments because it would be really fun. It'd be really, really fun. Sensor, have you ever been on any podcasts? You seem really well informed on everything. I know very little about a lot of random stuff. I think that's generally, I just have a lot of passing phases or I have passing fads. Yeah, there it is. But no, I used to do my own little podcast myself and it was like just me rambling. It didn't really work too well. And then we tried doing something with Cammie and Jacob and that was fun, but it also just, we couldn't hit a stride with it. So I don't know. Maddie told me he's going to reach out and see if he can get me on his, Defining Duke podcast, which would be super cool. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. Do you have a subreddit? I made one like years ago because I was like, I probably should have one, but like I don't really browse. The only thing I use Reddit for is for keeping up to date on a couple of true crime cases that I follow. So I don't scroll Reddit. I don't keep on it super actively. So I would be the worst person to run a Reddit. And in my experience, like, it doesn't seem like my audience is super active over there. I don't know. We have the Discord, we have that stuff, but I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. Is the chat on stream from Twitch? The chat on stream from Twitch? Well, no. This chat that we have, this one is YouTube. Y'all think Feliz is a bot, but wherever you go. We go wherever you go. I appreciate that. Imagine a Luke Steven and Andrew Tate podcast. Dude, that would be so funny. A passing fancy. No more Twitch streams. We might go back. We just like, we're trying YouTube because Twitch is kind of a sinking ship. So I was like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what turnout's like. We'll see what viewers like think of it. If you guys like it more, if you guys like it less. The nice thing is I have a podcast or a playlist now where all of these full streams get added to. So even though the full stream is unlisted, you just go to that playlist on the Luke Stevens live channel and you can see all the streams. So you can catch up if you had to leave halfway through, or if you want to just wait for us to cut together all of this stuff into clips, you can do that too. Should we see if we made partner? Hold on. Give me a second. I would have gotten an email. And still in review. That's freaking stupid. That's stupid. Oh, Rocky, yeah, I think the Nightbot is it's having trouble. Are all of the links broken? I swear to God. Hold on, Nightbot. Oh, Nightbot. Hold on, please. I will. At the very least, we need to get the link tree. Luke Stevens TV. Voila. Okay. Here's the link for all of that. And for this Nightbot commands, there we go. Commands, custom, links, submit. Okay. Try exclamation point links now. It should have just been added. Maybe not. Come on, Nightbot. Nightbot has trouble. Okay, well, we'll figure out Nightbot. I don't know what his deal is. The whole thing, I swear, man. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't want to work. What do I pay you for? Yeah, for real, it's just not working. Okay, well, Nightbot, thanks a lot for nothing. Let's talk about let me add a marker here. Add a stream marker. Let's talk about cheating in chess. This is a story that's been kind of developing over the last month or so, probably 2 to 3 weeks, if I'm being honest. It's not, like, in case you're not aware, basically right now the world champion is a guy named Magnus Carlsen. He is freakishly smart. He's been the best player in the world for like a decade. When I was playing competitively in high school, he was like in his early 20s and was beating everybody. And he's just crazy good at this. So what you need to know is that the chess world has spent the month of September embroiled in what is already one of the biggest cheating scandals in the venerable game's history. The story began at the Singfield Cup tournament, which is in which the young American player Hans Niemann had a wild card entry and was drawn against world champion Magnus Carlsen in the third round. 19-year-old Niemann, who, in a tremendous upset, won the match. Shortly afterward, Carlsen withdrew from the tournament. He posted a meme of a football coach, Jose Marino, saying, "I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble." But the news quickly spread through rumors and proxies like American Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura that Carlsen believed Niemann had cheated, but he didn't come out and say so. The British Grandmaster Nigel Short described the situation not unfairly as, quote-unquote, death by innuendo for Niemann, who nevertheless defended himself robustly. We're going to check out this video in just a second where Hikaru Nakamura looks at some of the evidence for and against. Basically, the reason that this kind of all kicked off is because Niemann has a history of cheating. He's cheated in online matches before. So it's not that far out of the possibility for him to cheat. He's admitted to cheating. He said, yeah, I made the mistake and I'm going to be better for it. I'm not going to do it anymore. But then he got paired against the world champion. And like, if you don't know much about chess, like, oh, he beat Magnus and now Magnus is throwing a fit. That's one thing you could say, but like, there's a little bit more to it. Because with Magnus, you don't just like beat Magnus. In order to beat Magnus, you pretty much have to play phenomenally. Yeah, only twice, but still. Do you think Nadia used the same? Probably. Let's be real. Probably. So this is Hikaru talking about it.
I have a statement from Magnus.
Well, just to real quick read this. A former 28 plus 100 player just told me he has played exactly one 100% game, which, if it's not clear, basically when that game is when that game is analyzed by an engine, the play is perfect. Like the engine wouldn't have done anything differently outside of opening differences and tweaks. So pretty much from move like 15 to 20 onward, it played perfectly. He's only ever played one 100% game. In 2800, you were in the top like 10 or 15 people on the planet for chess. Okay. So the top 10, 15 people on the planet, people of that caliber, this guy says he's only ever had one 100% game, one 97% game, a few games that were 85% plus, but that's it. In the last 3 years, Hans Niemann has played 10 perfect games and 23 other 90+% games. So we're looking at these two things. Either you are like Hans Niemann is just a freak of nature and he really is like one of the best or probably the best player on the planet, if not history, or something fishy's going on. Something's going on. Skull and Bones got delayed. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second, Parker. That's delicious. That's delicious. Hold on. That's wonderful.
All right, here we go. Here is a statement from Magnus regarding the last few weeks. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Showtime. Dear Chess World, at the 2022 Sinkfield Cup, I made the unprecedented professional decision to withdraw from the tournament after my round 3 game against Hans Niemann. A week later, during the Champions Chess Tour, I resigned against Hans Niemann after playing only one move. I know that my actions have frustrated many in the chess community. I'm frustrated. I want to play chess. I want to continue to play chess at the highest level in the best events. I believe that cheating in chess is a big deal and an existential threat to the game. I also believe that chess organizers and all those who care about the sanctity of the game we love should seriously consider increasing security measures and methods of cheat detection for over-the-board chess. When Niemann was invited last minute to the 2022 Sinkfield Cup, I strongly considered withdrawing prior to the event. I ultimately chose to play.
For those of you wondering how you cheat at chess, again, it's just like using an engine, figuring out what the best moves are. It could even be something like when you're playing at this level, it could even be something as simple as for like a couple of decisive moments in the game where it's really complicated and confusing, just checking with an engine for that one moment. It could be somebody nodding, it could be somebody coughing, it could be a series of things. It could be somebody in the audience, because a lot of these games have audience members where it's like you create a communication system where, you know, even something, there was one case at a tournament I went to where they caught somebody cheating because somebody would come by, basically the coach of the kid would come by and see the game, and he would stand like this, and then he would move his hands in a very specific way, and it was like a code. Like, people go hardcore with this stuff. Yeah, like the cougher in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Exactly. Yeah, he speaks the possibilities and then they cough at the right one. Little stuff like that. And when you think, like, come on, guys, it's a game of chess. What's the big deal? It's because these people are playing for sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars in prize money. This isn't chump change. Like, this is very competitive. You know, it happens. And again, Neiman has cheated before, which is why people are like, we're not buying the whole I take it on principle that you don't cheat. You know, they're skeptical, and I think you should be. Now, is it possible that Neiman is just all of a sudden playing perfect chess? Something happened when he turned 19 and it just clicked? Yeah, I guess. But what's more likely? That all of a sudden he's playing better than anybody has ever played on the planet in competitive play? Or that something fishy's going on? I think probably the latter.
I believe that Neiman has cheated more, and more recently than he has publicly admitted. His over-the-board progress has been unusual, and throughout our game of the Sinkfield Cup, I had the impression that he wasn't even tense or even fully concentrating on the game in critical positions while outplaying me as black in a way I think only a handful of players can do. This game contributed to changing my perspective. We must do something about cheating, and for my part going forward, I don't want to play against people that have cheated repeatedly in the past because I don't know what they are capable of doing in the future. There is more that I would like to say. Unfortunately, at this time, I am limited in what I can say without explicit permission from Neiman to speak openly. So far, I have only been able to speak with my actions, and those actions have stated clearly that I am not willing to play chess with Neiman. I hope that the truth on this matter comes out, whatever it may be. Sincerely, Magnus Carlsen, World Chess Champion. Okay, wow. Wowzers, you guys. This is huge. So, again, to give my opinion, I think it's very clear now what the realities are of the situation. That Magnus, it seems to me, thinks that Hans was cheating in the game that they played in the Sinkfield Cup, despite what was said by the organizers, despite what was said by the arbiters at that tournament in St. Louis, despite what was said by Ken Regan. It's very clear that Magnus thinks that Hans was doing something during the game.
So, and again with this, it's like when you're playing at Magnus's level, and like even at, like, I didn't play super high level. Like the max I ever played at was like 2000. But even at 2000, you can pick up when somebody is like something fishy's going on, because they start to play perfectly out of nowhere. And specifically, computers have a very particular style, and they've gotten better in recent years where they've become more difficult to spot. But computers figure out what the best moves are by brute force. They just calculate everything out, they figure it out, and they just blast forward and figure out what the best position is and the best answer to it is. With humans, we tend to take like positional cues, and we use our memory. Like they did CT scans of some extremely strong chess players and analyzed how their brain activity looked versus somebody who was not as good at chess. And people who weren't as good at chess were thinking a lot more with the front of their brain. They were trying to calculate stuff out and actively think through positions. Whereas the best players in the world, they were mostly accessing memory because they just have this huge catalog of games and positions, and they remember, oh, in situations like this, I should do this. And that's how they play. Computers just look at every move possible and then have an algorithm for calculating positional quality, and then they just brute force their way through it, calculating out 25, 30 moves. And so for a game like this, like Magnus just said, even in critical, like stressful positions, Neiman didn't seem stressed or even fully focused. Like if I'm playing somebody and we're in a super complicated position, there's tons of pieces on the board, tons of sharp tactics everywhere. People are like hanging rooks and knights to calculate out different things. When you're playing somebody and they are not at all worried, and they're just like, yeah, I'll sacrifice my queen there. Something weird is going on. Like either they are so much better than you that you are just a peon and they don't even consider what you're throwing out to be that interesting, or something fishy is going on, you know? So that's basically what Magnus is saying, is that his red flag was already, or his suspicions were up when Neiman showed up at the tournament because he's cheated before and admitted to doing it. And then now he's back, but he's playing legit this time. But even in moments when he should have been stressed, even in moments where he should have been hyper-focused, he didn't seem to be that stressed about it or that focused. And furthermore, he played perfectly. That's strange.
Game. So this is the mic drop moment that I think everybody was waiting to see. And at the end of the day, I think we're gonna have to figure out what how we proceed from here. Definitely. And so, you know, a lawyer reviewed this letter first. Absolutely. Absolutely, a lawyer looked at this first. So exactly what Hikaru said the entire time. Magnus believes Hans cheated recently. Yes, of course. Obviously. Like there was no other alternative. I know everybody, there were a lot of people for a long time who wanted to pretend that there could be something to do with hacking and leaks. Very clearly did not have anything to do with that. I would also say it's also extremely clear from this letter that Magnus has put out that essentially Hans, I think it's basically what it sounds like is Magnus has something, who knows what he has, but in order for him to release it, I'm guessing Hans has to say like, okay, I won't sue you or I won't do anything of that nature is my read. That has to be what is going on here. And so Hans has to, I guess, like, it feels like the ball is very clearly in Hans's court now. He has two people who are basically saying, you gotta give us permission to say stuff without any legal repercussions. If you do that, then everything comes out into the open. It seems very, very clear that when chess.com put out their statement in regards to the online stuff, that they basically said they had presented Hans with something, and if Hans was willing to discuss it publicly, they could. If he wasn't, they could not, is what it sounded like. And Magnus sounds like the same thing, where Magnus is essentially saying, if Hans basically says, I'm not going to sue you, or I'm not going to do any legal action, or I won't take any legal action, then Magnus will come out with everything he has. So it feels like the ball is very clearly in Hans's court right now. Now,
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's really weird. Like here, I think he pulls up the game, and he can explain it better than
start to become smarter and smarter about it.
Any of us could.
All right, let's take one more look. We're gonna look at the Magnus game now. This is the one last game that I want to do. Control V, and let's do analysis.
Yeah. So first things first. Hans Niemann 2688, Magnus 2861. Already huge discrepancy. Okay, like maybe he did get lucky and he just won. Another weird thing. He is playing black. That's also weird because that doesn't just happen, you know. You can't ban it. That's stupid. Yeah, that is really weird. Can you really not? How do I do that? Yeah, that is weird. I don't know how I give you that. Yeah, I don't know. Huh. Anyway, so he's playing as black. On these high levels, like if you're really good at white, you either win or you draw. Like it's not that easy to win as black. And I know it seems weird, like no way it makes that big of a difference. Like, yeah, when you're playing on this level, getting to move first has that big of an impact.
Check. One more. Again, I'm not going to look at a document right now, but yeah, let's take one more look. It's not going to be 100%. It'll just be crucial moments. Yeah, I mean, this is yeah, it's all scary. It's all scary. No, I'm not going to look at online games because there's a general understanding that when you talk about over the board versus online, online is a much lower threshold for something to happen. Much lower threshold. We still don't have enough data from 20 randomly selected games. I mean, you can say that, but someone literally looked at all his games. They're like, there are 100 plus games over the board in that Google spreadsheet. This is not 20 games. This is like 100 games plus. I mean, it's not 20 games. 70 is phenomenal. True. 70 is very good. Yeah. And actually, and to be fair, I was only finding like the games that I thought I played my best at, or games that I thought Fabiano played his best. So when you see the high numbers that correlate, those are like our absolute best games, to be fair. Yeah, it's not 20 games. They looked at all of Hans's over the board games from 2019 to 2022.
And out of all those games, he's playing way better than somebody his rating should be able to play. I mean, it's the same thing like when like Nadia, we go back to Nadia. Like Nadia have it like going and snapping onto people and making these incredible plays, amazing snipes and great, game IQ and awareness. We see that and we're like, okay, so maybe she is just really good at the game. And then you see her live where she couldn't possibly cheat, and all of a sudden her talent level plummets. And you're like, okay, so either she's doing like 40 chess and she's trolling the trolls by purposely playing bad, which she hasn't claimed to have done, by the way. She insists that she didn't play any differently. But like maybe that's it, or she just had an off day, maybe, who knows. But when you play at this level, and then sometimes down here, that's weird. That's weird. When you're just really good and you're playing legit, usually you play within like this range. Some days you have a bad day down here at the bottom. Some days you have a really good day up here at the top, but you're still in that wiggle room. Like you're still there. With this, like the difference between Hans Niemann's play apparently has been up here, like literally off the chart, beating Magnus with black pieces. And then he plays down here other times. And that's why people's like red flags are starting to wave. People are getting suspicious. Oh, sorry, Andre. Yeah, the stupid links aren't working. The night bot isn't working for some reason. So there's the link tree. Yeah, who knew chess had so much drama? For real. I'm just as surprised. There was like nothing that happened in the chess world for like 5 years, and then this started popping off, and now everything's crazy.
Okay, so what do we have? 43%, 71. Again, Magnus played. Actually, you know what I would wonder? I wonder if someone did analysis of all of Magnus's games over the past 3 years over the board. I bet you that this is the worst that he's played in any game since 2019. And again, someone will probably go and do the research on it, but I'm going to bet you this is the worst that Magnus has played in any game. I would probably bet somebody money that this is. I'm gonna bet money that this is probably the this is probably the worst game.
Yeah,
this has been unusual. Okay,
just that though.
3 years.
This, like most players, you and me, this would be at like 10 to 15%. Like in Maiden 5, yeah, we got the moves right, but for everything else, we got like the second recommended option and the third recommended option. Maybe occasionally we got lucky, but not very common. With this, like 71%, that's really good. And I mean, the other possibility with this is that Niemann has like psyched out Magnus, and Magnus is just freaking out, and he can't get his thoughts under control. He's just like psyched himself out, and now he's convinced that he's playing against a perfect engine, so this type of thing happens. Like it's just crazy. It's crazy. But Magnus, you don't mess with Magnus, because Magnus has a ton of backing, and you don't just like what Magnus says usually goes. That's basically what I'm saying. Like if Magnus says this guy's cheating, I don't want to play with him, most tournament organizers are going to be like, well, okay, sure, touche, Yeah, pull out your phone with the red flag photo. Yeah, I've thought about going and actually ordering like They make them on Amazon. You get them for like $5, and it's just like an actual red flag. And I've thought of going and getting those because I thought it would be funny. You know, red flag, red flag, red flag. Because there's a lot of stuff that sends off the red flags nowadays. Yeah, they should do a TSA body scan before the match to check for anal beads. They always do, by the way, and happened to the Sigville Cup after Carlsen left. Yeah, it's so hard to tell what happens or what doesn't. Best comment I read so far was the suggestion to analyze games from your POV and giving your info on it when a super GM would actually check an engine for help. I feel at your level, you could really, or be really sneaky with it. So I'd be interested in that. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is just weird. Like, again, is Neiman all of a sudden just playing perfectly? It's possible, I guess. He's just had a meteoric rise and is doing great after a history of like cheating accusations, maybe. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. I really don't know what it is. I also find it really funny. Hikaru is on Twitter browsing. Magnus Carlsen follows him. He doesn't follow him. Mr. Beast follows Hikaru. Hikaru doesn't follow him. Like, he's just like, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, sure, follow me. I don't give a crap. It's just funny to me. It's funny to me. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think it could be that he is cheating. It could be. I really don't know. But it certainly is suspicious. And Neiman's tried to defend himself vigorously. But yeah, I just don't know. I kind of feel bad for the guy either way. Like this.
In terms of Magnus, for me, the real question is what exactly was the opening choice? It seemed, and if black plays f5, you can go knight to d6, rook takes c3. And there's a very weird idea with bishop h3 to go after this double f pawn, and the computer actually thinks that white should be okay here. Now, again, it's not super intuitive. It doesn't feel very human, so it's really hard to criticize Magnus.
Little Neiman.
But the computer does like this idea.
So like this is one of those things where the computer is going to play this perfectly no matter what. Whereas like this type of thing, like for a human, there's tons of choices to be made. Like, do I want to trade off and get a simpler position? It'll be easier to handle. Or do I want to just play perfectly and like try to be as accurate as possible? And also, like, I mean, you can see the time. There's not a ton of time to calculate this stuff out. So, it's weird. Apparently his post-game interviews were sus too because he couldn't justify his moves. Yeah, that's also suspicious. Like, you watch somebody who really knows what they're doing, and they will, like, after the game, they'll go, oh yeah, I thought like probably around move 25 he played h3. I thought that was really suspicious. I thought I should have gone bishop f4, and then we would have traded. You know, I would have gone d6, and then he probably would have played d5, and we would have traded off and resolved the position. But I thought about going a little sharper and playing, you know, something a little bit more aggressive instead of bishop f4. Maybe, you know, going in with like a knight to b6 or something. And they have very specific ideas that they can explain clearly. If you ask the guy after the game, like, why did you do that? And they're just like, I just, you know, I thought it was good. That's weird. That's weird. He said that, and I quote, chess speaks for itself. That's the problem, though, dude. Like, yeah, chess speaks for itself. And when you're playing perfect chess, when you have a history of not playing perfect chess, that's weird. We have to question what happened. Like, how did you manage that? And it doesn't just happen. Have you been convinced already to make a refresh of the Witcher 3 critique with the next gen upgrade out soon? Yes, Christina, actually. I've been waiting anxiously to play The Witcher 3 again. I desperately want to do it, but until they come out with the next gen patch, I can't justify it. So once they do, I'll tackle it for sure. So yeah, all told, I really don't know. If I had to put money on it, I would say something is sus with Neiman. something weird is going on there. Magnus, like some people were saying, oh, Magnus just throwing a fit. Oh, Magnus does not have a history of doing this type of thing. He's not a drama king. You know, that, like, if it was Bobby Fischer, I'd be like, yeah, I think Bobby's full of it. I think Bobby probably is just convinced that the aliens are speaking to him through his pants. But with Magnus, he doesn't make this kind of thing up. He doesn't exaggerate. I think he's being legit. So, yeah, that's what I would guess. Did I see the new mod in The Witcher 3 that lets you fart out toxicity? No, that's amazing though. That's tremendous. Just when we needed the mod most is when we get it. Okay, so let's see what else is there to talk about. Of course, we've got the freaking, hold on, Skull and Bones. Where is it? 43 minutes ago. Oh yeah, geez, man. Okay, hold on. Let me update the note real quick, just so Jacob has an easier time cutting together these clips. Skull and Bones delayed. Yep, you heard me right. Skull and Bones delayed. Thanks. I forget now. Whoever put it in chat. Thank you for that. So they just posted this 40 whatever minutes ago. Important news to all our aspiring captains. Today, we'd like to give you an update regarding our release date. Although Skull and Bones' development is finished at this stage, the invaluable feedback received during our various technical tests and insider program convinced us we could use a bit of extra time to polish and balance the experience even further and ensure you get the best experience we can offer. We have therefore decided to push our initial launch date to 9th of March 2023. We will be organizing more insider program sessions to continue gathering feedback, and in case you haven't had the chance to participate yet, you can also look forward to our open beta in the near future. Thank you for your support. Oof. Yeah, I would guess this. I mean, who knows? What I said when I found out they were trying to release the day before God of War Ragnarok, I said, oh, it looks to me like they're trying to bury it. And then they can explain the failure of the game by saying, oh, God of War was more successful than we thought, blah, blah, blah. And then they don't have to admit that the game just wasn't what people wanted. What this makes me think, especially because development is done, like the game is done, it's just balancing and polish stuff now. It makes me think that maybe in the preview tests and stuff, they saw more positive feedback than they expected. Maybe they were like, oh, people actually kind of like this. Maybe like this thing could actually be successful if we give it a chance. Maybe we should. Instead of burying it and just trying to intentionally give it an excuse to fail, maybe we should just go and do something else. Interesting. You know, like that could be very, very interesting. Maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know how else to explain it. Because from what I've heard, I've talked to people who have actually tried it. And it apparently isn't like, it's not broken. It's not a disaster. It's just like not what a lot of people wanted. I don't know. It's really weird. Okay. So that's, I mean, maybe it doesn't surprise people. I didn't think it needed a delay, but I guess now they're delaying because they want to release it at a time when they think it will actually stand a chance. I should also probably, hold on, please. What is it? It's making a face. There we go. Snippet. No. Paint there. Crop. Save. And then I'll save it here. Okay, boop. And then we move over here. This is how the sausage is made, people. This is how it's done. Videos, thumb, boop, boop, boop. I just don't want to have to explain, like, every time somebody new pops in to stream, like, why we're not currently talking about the chess stuff. Because it seems like if I don't do that, then every 10 seconds I'm going to have to explain it. Save it as a JPEG. There we go. Then we pop over here. We change this. There we go. I think that'll avoid headaches. There we go. Gambit. Luke, this is a stupid question, but do gaming chairs hurt your back? They can. Like, really cheap ones, for sure. They, like, the thing you have to remember, if you have a bad back, if you have a back that's prone to, like, any type of weakness, you should not be sitting in a gamer chair. You should be sitting in, like, you should invest in a good chair, an ergonomic chair that's specifically built for good ergonomics. Like, gaming chairs, you buy them because they look cool. You buy this chair because it's got the cool design on the back. You don't buy it because it's, like, the most comfortable and supportive thing ever, you know? The chair is holding up great. Yeah, I've had no issues with the chair. The build quality is actually way better than I was expecting. And I've had previous Secret Lab chairs, and it seems like they took it up a notch. Like, it actually seems even better. I need you to rate this. Oh, God. Copy link. Paste link. Why didn't it work? Oh, the link doesn't work for some reason. Yep. I don't know why, Rocky. That link doesn't work. It's not working. Okay. So the next little thing. This news is a little surprising to me. We've heard whispers about it, but we're actually seeing it now. Netflix is building out an internal game studio. Several, actually. And they're putting a lot of effort into it, apparently. So today I'm excited to announce that we are establishing an internal game studio in Helsinki, Finland, with Marco Lastica, maybe, as the studio director. This is another step towards our vision to build a world-class game studio that will bring a variety of delightful and deeply engaging original games with no ads and no in-app purchases to our hundreds of millions of members around the world. Okay. They're doing it in Helsinki because there's a bunch of talent there. It's still early days, and we have much more to work to do. Okay, so they're basically just saying, hey, we opened a studio, and we're starting to work on it. Cool. I don't know how this, like, I think probably what this is they're looking at Game Pass and being like, so Game Pass is like printing money. So if we get some unique titles that we can get people to come over to us specifically for, maybe that does really well. That's all I can imagine this being, because I can't imagine that Netflix is going, especially with their recent financials, I doubt they would come out swinging with like crazy bids on stuff. You know, I don't think they would be able to like buy out games and publishers like Epic Games has been able to do. You know, I don't expect them to do that. They might try, but, you know, I don't think they would get a better offer than, like, Epic Games, which already has an established user base. And also, Epic Games has really kind of toned down that stuff. At least it seems like to me. Maybe I'm just used to it, but it seems like they've toned down the exclusives. They still do it occasionally, but it's not like every week there's a new AAA game that's exclusive over there, you know? Let's see. Do you think you'll ever go back to Twitch? Possibly. We're trying it here on YouTube this week, and we're seeing how it goes. Let's see. Rocky just shared this. Let's see what this is. Steam's website gets a rating of... Oh, I'm scared now.
The very first thing I see is that your 3 hamburger bars aren't centered vertically. Not a big deal. I'm going to move them over here anyways. And since they're too basic, I'm going to make them look cooler. While we're at it, let's slide your logo into this corner. I don't really want to look at your menu option overflow, so I'm going to shove them all back in here. You don't really need to tell me this section is featured and recommended, just feature them here and they'll be recommended to me. I like dark themes, so let's make the background black and the search bar look like glass. When you have this many flashy options on the page, my brain is overloaded, so I don't know what to click. Let's simplify by taking these options and giving them an icon and a pretty background image. I think it makes a lot of sense to list your games next, but this area looks super cluttered. Why don't we start by using chips for these options instead of tabs? Let's do a more appealing aspect ratio on the image and organize this space by doing a title, tag section, price.
Notice how it just ends up looking like Epic Games.
I give your mobile site a rating of 52%, which is mixed.
That's pretty good.
By using chips for these options instead of tabs.
I like that it, like this especially, just ends up looking like Epic Games Store. That's awesome though. But I mean, it goes to show you how outdated a lot of Steam's UI stuff is. So that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I would like this a lot more. Because Steam on mobile, Steam has always been a disaster. Like, I will intentionally get up from my couch, go open my laptop, and use that to do anything I need to do on Steam, specifically for that. Like, that's just funny to me. Luke streaming on YouTube. Huzzah! Huzzah, Alejandro. Huzzah. Aren't there themes you can download onto Steam to make it look different? Possibly. And is that... I don't know, maybe. But I think the core UI and what he's looking at specifically is the mobile site. I don't know if the themes would work on mobile, but I don't know. Would the themes work on mobile too? Like, would they sync to your account on mobile? I don't know. Let's see. UI design is so much fun, or UX design is so much fun. This scratched that itch for me for sure. Yeah, for real. Well, so what is the difference UI and UX? Because I see them used kind of interchangeably. UI, user interface. UX is probably just like user experience, maybe is what they're trying to say with that. So that's kind of, at least that's what I would assume it means. UX, UI. I don't know. It seems like they mean the same thing if I'm being real. User experience. User experience. Well, either way, good UI is good UX, as they say. I don't know if they say that. I would imagine they say that because it makes sense. Mello just came here from the new video. First live stream. Love your videos. Take your opinion very seriously before playing a game. Awesome. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. And I'm glad you're here. So, but yeah, going back to the Netflix thing, I really don't know what that looks like. I think, like, do they have it so you can sign, like, do they have a Netflix launcher on PC? Or are they going to bring games to console? Or is this going to be like a cloud streaming thing where it displays on your TV? Like, I think the games that work well for Netflix would be something like the choose your own adventure type games. Like the latest one that just came out, As Dusk Falls. That one you can even play on your phone. Like Nikki and I did co-op for it and traded decision making, and she was on her phone and I was on the controller. It was great. Like that working on a TV, that would work great on a TV. I'm gonna get the AC blowing. Okay. Let's see, next thing. Oh yeah, this is, speaking of Epic Games. Okay, this is, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay. Well, let me real quick before I forget. Okay, and I'll make that bold. Okay. So the Epic Game Store just got afflicted with its first NFT game. Oh god. It's called Blanco's Block Party, a sort of Roblox-like creation game powered by everyone's favorite tech snake oil, Web3, and the blockchain. First, in acknowledgement, we featured Blanco's Block Party at the PC Gaming Show in 2020, a time when the idea of blockchain-based gaming was still in its unassuming infancy. as opposed to its current scammy speculative recovering from the recent crypto crash adolescence. Our write-up at the time contains dark portents of what was to come, with some blancos being seasonal or limited edition. There's a certain rarity to certain characters. It follows the same logic that collecting physical designer toys in that sense. Okay. Maybe my skepticism is unfounded, especially when Blancos has such killer apps as the mini bee winged donkey looking skin made in collaboration with Burberry. It's only $900. A single skin is $900. Wow. So this is it. Again, the problem is just when this is what your game has been designed around the monetization, the game is rarely good. Yeah, it's very Roblox. Very Roblox. And yeah, you're buying these skins. They partnered with Burberry to design a $900 skin. That's unbelievable, dude. That's unbelievable. It's just like, if you want players to use this, they need to have fun with the game. And when like you have a great game with unique cosmetics that they can trade and sell and stuff, cool. That's interesting to me. But like this, I don't understand. Like, what even is the game? They show little stuff like this, like running through these things. Level design, okay. Like, okay, some light combat. But then all of it focuses on the cosmetics and the NFT aspect of it. It's like that's what the game has been built around, is the NFTs. And when that's all your game has going for it, it's just not going to do well. And plus the Burberry skin for $900, that's too delicious. I mean, you can't make that stuff up. That's just tremendous. I don't know, man. The NFT thing, though, I'm glad that it is settled down, because everybody, like, it was so annoying to hear every 10 seconds, oh, NFTs, Web3, it's the future of everything. And I just can't stand it. Like, there has been no demonstration of how it will make the average consumer's life better, markedly better. They say, oh, it allows you to own your digital content. Okay. So like if I buy a copy of a movie on Amazon, can I sell that copy of a movie to a friend? Well, no, not like that. But like if you buy a skin, you can sell it on our in-game store, and then you can get a cut from that, and we'll also get a cut from that. Okay. I'm like, it just starts to sound like a pyramid scheme, you know? The people at the top who own the first NFTs, they make tons of money. And then as it goes down, the people underneath them that sell that NFT will all pay a cut to the guy above them that made the NFT. And then as they sell it to another guy and they sell it to other people underneath them, every time it trades, money get passed up the chain back to the original creator. So you could just make millions of dollars off of one NFT that you design. How cool is that? You go up and you draw the pyramid. Like, that's what it is. It's insane. And I think the whole thing, Andre's like, NFTs, you do have to be, I think we have to be a little more tactical with how we address them with these big companies, because the environmental point, I just don't think is very convincing. I just don't think it is that easy to win the argument on that point. I think it's much easier to just say, like, this is a pyramid, like you're describing what is effectively a pyramid scheme where you're just trying to do this. Like, yes, the power consumption is ridiculous. It is extremely, extremely high to mine these things, but you're effectively arguing that the mining further up the chain is why this thing down the chain is bad, when you don't have to do that. Like, that's still a valid point, but you can just focus on this thing and show how stupid it is. And I think that will do way better at convincing them. Some people might say, like, oh, well, the big companies, they're just terrified of being accused of being, like, bad for the environment, so maybe that is more effective, and maybe that is the case. But I think for most average people, if you're talking to, like, you know, Tammy down the street. I think it's much easier to just explain like, no, the whole thing is like just a ploy for game companies to get a cut of something when it trades hands countless times. Like they're trying to get your kid to start trying to flip digital assets, and that's insane. Like, let your kid just play a video game. Don't make him have to like juggle trading and buying and selling and hustling, you know? That's, come on. You know, get two people into NFTs and they get two people into NFTs and then so on and profit. Well, especially because like, so I don't actually know his name and I don't think he would ever watch this stuff. So I think it's okay. Yeah, the noise, it's because it's like 85 degrees in here and I turned on the AC. Yeah, I'll turn it off for this. It's just very hot. Maybe we'll do a video reaction, then I'll mute myself. So we knew this guy. He's a very sweet guy. He's a good family man. He's trying to do like get something going. He's trying to make something of himself. But he's one of those types of people where he jumps on the latest fad every time that the new thing happens. Like crypto comes out, he's all into crypto. And not just like Bitcoin, he's into all the little things. NFTs come out, all into NFTs. He's that kind of guy. And he got really into NFTs. And we were at Thanksgiving, I guess it would have been last year. And we were talking with this guy. And he was describing all of these things that he was doing, and that he was working on a mobile app with a new company, I think is what it was, where they would allow you to sell NFTs from all of your places. And then he was going to tie it into like clothing, so you could buy a t-shirt with your NFT on it, and then you could sell the t-shirt to other people and you would get a royalty for that design. So almost like getting royalties for a design is what he wanted to do. And he described it to me and I was just baffled because I was like, so you're just gonna like, you're making a site where you like sell t-shirts, and then if you design something, then you get a cut of whatever shirt somebody designed using it. But why would they use your thing if they have to pay extra for it? Like that, and how is that different than just any website that's out right now, where you just go on a website, you drag and drop something that somebody else designed and you have to pay for it? That's a thing already, that already exists. And he's like, oh, well, it's because, you know, it's a unique digital token, so no one in the world has something like that. I'm like, yeah, but once it's been printed, it's not that digital token. Like, it's been printed. Like, it's just a shirt at that point. So what's stopping me from just going over to Teespring, taking a screen cap of the design off your website and then pasting it into this Teespring designer and just printing the shirt through them? He's like, well, that would technically be illegal because they don't have the right to use it. I'm like, yeah, but like once the t-shirt's been printed for $10, are you really going to file a lawsuit over a $10 t-shirt? Like, is that your business plan, that you're going to file lawsuits over $10 t-shirts? And I'm like that just doesn't make sense. And it doesn't, like, again, you're trying to create a product that you're pitching to the consumer. You're trying to come up with something that convinces them that they should like work with that product, that they should put money up for it. And when your best explanation, like your best idea, is something that already exists and something that other people do way better for cheaper, like, it's you shouldn't be surprised when it doesn't catch on and when people tease you about it. And that's what it was for this. It was just like, dude, I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer, but you need to probably figure out something else, because this ain't it, fam. This ain't it. Wasn't that the entire discussion for NFTs from the start? What's stopping anybody from copying it? Well, like, Louver, I think though the one thing that made sense to me, as a pitch, was like, say in a game like Apex. Apex, if you aren't familiar, I guess I could actually, it'll probably be easiest if I just launch Apex and I show you this, because I think it'll do way better to do it that way. So Apex as a video game still uses what are effectively loot boxes, but they're called Apex packs. So you either buy them or you unlock them through gameplay. You open them and then they drop things kind of randomly. Sometimes legendary items, sometimes epic, sometimes, it's a skin, sometimes it's a badge, sometimes it's a gun skin, who knows, but it's all over the place. With Apex though, because it's loot boxes, you end up with a ton of stuff that you just don't want or need. And I've run into that a lot. So like for this, right here, this is Apex Legends. Do I really not have audio? Okay, I don't have audio for some reason. Line out to go XLR. That should be working. Okay, I just turned the music down. Okay, I was freaking out. Anyway, this is like this. I never play as, for example, like Watson. I just don't play as Watson. Okay, but you see, I've unlocked some skins for her that I'm never gonna use. That's pretty fire, actually. It's not bad. I've unlocked these skins, but I never play as her, so I have no use for them. The pitch for NFTs, if the pitch was like, oh, we're going to assign each of these a unique digital identifier. So you could sell your magnetic mantis skin for say $1.50, or it converts to like 150 Apex credits and you can sell those to somebody else. That's kind of cool. I'd be into that, because then I would go through here, I would sell all of the skins I don't need, and then I would go in here, I don't need any of these banners, so I can sell this banner to somebody who's looking for it. It would work really, really well. It would let me benefit from stuff that I don't use. I can understand why that pitch is there. The problem is, yeah, for one, CSGO already does that without NFTs. Yeah, so you don't, it's proof of concept. You don't need this new Web3 NFT thing to do it. It's been done by many other companies for a long, long time. And the other problem is that the whole pitch around NFTs from these game publishers is that every time that trades hands, they will get a cut of it. So if I go in here and, oh, I've got my Revenant skin and say, I like the False Idol skin, I don't need the Skinwalker skin. I sell the Skinwalker skin for $10. Some dude out there buys it for $10. EA wants to take like a 10 to 20% cut of that. So they take $2. And then I'm left with $8. Okay, cool. They pay $10. EA gets a cut. I get a cut. And for EA, it's great because they already either gave me this skin through gameplay that I earned after spending a ton of time in the game, or I bought Apex packs, or I bought the season pass and I gave them money, and then in turn I got this thing. So for them, they already got money up front for it, and now with me selling it, they get another $2 from it. So it's just endless money every time it trades hands. And then the next time that guy does it, he sells it, and then EA gets another cut as it trades hands again. One of the pitches with NFTs, though, is if I say, like, this was another game and I designed this skin and this skin was my NFT for Apex Legends, the pitch is that I sell this NFT to somebody. Say I list it on the marketplace for $10. Somebody buys it for $10. They get to use it in the game. That's kind of cool. I designed it. I got paid for it. That's cool. And it's in the game, so you can't just copy and paste it. You have to go through the official source. But the scammy part of NFTs is that some of these companies were pitching that then when he sells it next, I would still get a cut. It would pass up to me for being the original creator. And then when that person that bought it, 2 levels down, the third person to own it, first me, then this guy, then the guy beneath him, that guy sells it, it would be passed up again to the original creator. And the guy above him would get a cut. You see how it starts to look like a pyramid? Because it is. Like, that's the whole pitch, is to create thousands, if not millions, of little pyramid schemes. And it's just Like, it's not that compelling, especially because I think at the end of the day, people from the start aren't that thrilled about buying skins. They're just not. Like, grinding for them, yeah, there are some whales that will pay for them, but for the most part, people grind for them. I got lucky. I unlocked this skin like my first week of playing Revenant, and I've used it ever since. I love the skin. Would I pay 20 bucks for it? I don't think so. Sure don't. Sure don't. But that's why, like, the initial pitch of NFTs can make sense. But once you get into the details, it stops making sense and it starts to fall apart. And you see, like, the store where they sell these things. So, like, this would be the pitch. Is somebody designed this skin as an NFT. I buy it for what is effectively $12.50. They would get $2.50. EA would get $2, say. And then if the skin becomes really popular, because, say, like, Nick Merckx plays with it and everybody wants the skin, then all of a sudden the price on the market spikes to $50. Then I could sell it and I make a ton of money, right? Well, EA gets their cut again, and the original creator gets their cut. And I pass it on. The next guy, oh, it went to $55, so I'll sell it there. And it's just a pyramid scheme at the end of the day. So it's why, like, the version of NFTs that I'm all in for doesn't require NFTs. You don't need NFTs to do it. CSGO has been doing it for years. Kind of billing address. Let's try this one. So I'm sure that that's gonna flop. I mean, they put so much money into it. It's like at the Game Awards, whatever it was. Like the Game Awards, they had. No, it wasn't the Game Awards. It was Jeff Keighley's last show. I think at Gamescom. Remember that, like, what was it? It was like Evermore or Forever or like something like that. It was the first game they showed off in the show, and nobody had any idea what it was. And it looks like it's just because it was another NFT game, but they know NFTs are horribly bad press right now, so nobody wanted to talk about it. So when asked, what is this game exactly? They're like, it's a way to a new experience. Yeah, nobody knows what it's even called. That should tell you everything you need to know about it. Like, when your pitch is just the marketing for the game, it doesn't work. And exactly, Rocky, thank you for the link to this. This is what NFTs are. When you talk to somebody who's a fanboy of them, this is what it is. I just love the quiet. I have to go make a call. It's so good. Dude, I love The Office so much. I've watched that whole series through like 10 times, and I plan to do it again very, very soon. It's just so good. I don't know how they managed to make it just like perfectly balanced across all of these different things. Like, it's just so well done. It's so well done. Oh, I love it. But yeah, that's NFTs for you. Boom. YouTube keeps trying to push me to oh, that's crazy, dude. Look at this. So I just got a warning from YouTube for playing that clip. They just came and popped up on my screen and said, heads up, we've detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. Whoa. They are that quick with it. That's impressive. It used to be that the stream would have to process, and then when you publish it, it would check it for copyrighted stuff. Now they can do it in real time. That's insane. It's Babe and Baby. Hello, Babe and Baby. Hi, dude. Oh, sun's out, guns out. Sun's out, guns out. Hey, everybody. Good to see you, everybody. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Yeah, that's crazy impressive. I'm baffled. We watched one 1-minute clip from The Office, and YouTube scanned in real time that we were watching something copyrighted and gave a warning. That's crazy. I mean, I'm glad that they do it. It shows it's working. Twitch, it's like, yeah, you could do that. Watch a whole season of The Office. We might not claim it. Yeah? Ooh. Yeah? Having a good morning?
He just bonked his head on the table again.
Oh, yeah. I have some zucchini from my breakfast. Do you want some?
Oh, Dad, why didn't you eat your zucchini?
I've been eating it, but it's been a process. You want some zucchini? Ooh. He loves him some zucchini. Mm.
Oh, yeah.
No mohawk today. No, he's very dapper today. He's feeling very dapper. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, you want more? You want more? More, please?
Can you say more, please?
More, please? You gotta do the same. I know you can do it.
Lachlan, you say more, please?
Good
Good
job.
boy.
Let's get you some more.
The bedhead in the back is real today.
Well, I've got bad bedhead. I slept in way too late. We've had a rough few nights of sleep with this little fella.
Had a
And
rough
so-
month of sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Zucchini is great. You're damn right.
Yeah.
YouTube may be a little less, maybe be a little less creepy with the copyright. I just hopped in, so I was admittedly surprised to see The Office. I thought like a minute clip that's on YouTube, they probably wouldn't bother, but like, it's just crazy. You want more? You love your zucchini. Jeez, man.
Num, 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 num.
Do you want to finish this for Daddy? It seems like you're liking it. Yeah, he is a cutie. He's a good guy. The difference in voice volume between Nikki and Luke. Yeah, I project into the house. Yeah. Yes, why though? They don't like seafood. They don't want to see that. Funny.
Experiencing a drool right there. Oh!
Yeah, we're lucky. He's very adventurous with food. He doesn't mess with being super picky. He's just like, yeah, I'll eat whatever. Like last night, he had a bunch of sun-dried tomatoes. Ooh. Really? Ooh. Ooh.
He's
Yeah? Hmm.
open.
Open.
Shut him.
Does YouTube upload whatever you just streamed in real time, and that's why the copyright picks it up? I'm sure they just, like, they're trying to boost ad revenue for live streams to, again, appeal to more streamers, because you can make more money with streaming on YouTube. So they're trying to do that, but advertisers don't love it when you can't guarantee that there won't be copyrighted stuff on the stream, because they don't want to be caught up in that. So having a copyright system in place real time helps a lot. And I think that's all they've been doing, is trying to make it so it doesn't just check for copyright after the video's been uploaded and after the stream ends, but also as the footage comes in, which I get it. I can't blame them.
Oh, burp, burp, burp. Would you like more, please? Is that all
Yeah,
done?
the Chronicles of Luke and Luke Jr.
All done?
Ooh.
One more, please. I do. I do think it's funny that everything is open now.
Yeah, everything's open.
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 Done. Done. Yeah.
Good job.
I taught him the wrong sign for that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like all done.
It's all done.
But we taught it as
dumb.
all done.
All done.
And so now he does all done.
I swear he's gonna be like an adult and he's gonna be like, hey, person that can't speak, here's my sign language. Are you all done? And they're gonna be like, what the
They're
hell
like,
are you
"What?"
talking about?
Luke and Nikki, have y'all read Lord of the Rings or Narnia? Narnia, yes. Lord of the Rings, I haven't read, but the movies are all really good. We actually were just watching Prince Caspian last night, and I'm just very conflicted because I grew up loving those movies, but now that I'm older and a cynical prick, I watch those movies and I'm like, there's so many problems with this. Yeah, yo. Yeah. He likes Old MacDonald, and now he's learned how to go E-I-E-I-O. Oh, yeah. I needed to wipe the glass anyways.
Keeps
so
the account.
that's good. Hey.
E-I-E-I-O.
E-I-E-I-O. playing RE Village right now and thinking hybrid games with third person and first person will be the future of some games. What do you think, Luke in chat? Diego, like Bethesda's done that for a while where you can bounce between third and first. And I think it works well. It's nice to have the option, but it can make things really tricky because like you have to have combat work well first person and third person, and that's easier said than done. Like most games struggle with just making a first person or just a third person combat system feel good. Yeah?
Up. That was an open mouth side swipe because bleh.
Would love to see JV and Luke collab. Yeah, I haven't ever talked to JV, but I've seen people talk about him all the time in my comment section and stuff. So maybe we'll do something for Assassin's Creed together. That could be fun. Or what if we did like, because he's done some I Tried videos, what if we did something where we tried like Assassin's Creed Unity co-op together? Because he also does AC stuff. Maybe that could work. That could be fun. Maybe we do that. Because then we can both play at the same time, you know? That could work. That could be fun. Why are you trying to grab that? Oh, you started the clip again. Whoa. I love you. Would you? Would you? Oh, yeah. Well, good guy.
We're going to drive 40 minutes north. But I also don't want to mess up his nap time, but I also have stuff to do over there.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What did you see back there? Oh. Ooh. Yeah, he's trying to get me copyright struck. Yeah. He's like, I'll end the stream right here, right now. So we can go do stuff. Ooh. I love you, dude.
Say love you, Dada.
Have a good trip.
So
I see you
gonna
later.
Get really angry in the car. It's gonna be awesome.
So I'm gonna scream until Mama buys me French fries.
You're missing out.
Much love.
Love you.
Drive safe. Think about it. Think about it. Love you. Unity co-op. I think that could be fun. I think that could be fun. Well, I'm sorry. It's now in the mid to high 70s. Forgive the noise in the background. Forgive it. Porous, quick question. How can an indie dev reach out to you for testing their game? Send me a message on Discord. That's probably the best bet, I would say. That would be my personal recommendation. I've had a few indie devs actually reach out for that very thing. So, I'd be happy to check it out, you know. Favorite fries from? Oh god, when the mood is right, some Arby's curly fries, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Let's see, did we talk about that? I think we did. We can talk about this real quick. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Stream's running way better over here, Papa Luke. Oh, good, David. I don't know. Is it just that the quality seems higher? Like, I'm always open to the feedback because I need to know what it's like from a user experience. Like from you guys on the viewing page, is it markedly better than Twitch or is it worse? Like, I just need to know that stuff. So let me know if you prefer it or not. I appreciate it. Let me know those comments in chat real quick. It'll fill in chat, and then I'll start talking about this, and then I can go back and read through those. So put your thoughts on YouTube versus Twitch in chat, and I'll get to those in a minute. But we'll start with this. I'll just start talking about it. So for those of you who missed it, a new Silent Hill game. We chatted about this briefly on Monday. A new Silent Hill game was rated in Korea. This follows, of course, years of rumors and people saying that it's totally happening this time and then it not happening. It's really unclear what it is. Basically, the report shows that a game called Silent Hill: The Short Message was listed and the publisher was listed as Uniana, which is also a company that's published other Konami games, specifically like eFootball 2023, specifically in Korea. So that at least is consistent. It doesn't list the title as a video game release, however. So it's literally just a game rating thing on the website for games rating. And it just says Silent Hill, the short message. Bear in mind, Konami, in the last year or two, honestly, last 5 years, they've been known for pretty much exclusively doing horrible releases, mobile games, or delving into like slot machines with their established IP. What's insane is that the odds are just as high that this ends up being a mobile game or slot machine as it does being a full-on like AAA quality release. In fact, I would say the odds are actually pretty low that this is a AAA Silent Hill game. So don't get your hopes up if you are a big Silent Hill fan. I'm not. I've never been really into Silent Hills. Silent Hill. I just haven't been that into it. I just don't personally see it. I don't know. It's just not for me. But with this, a lot of people are getting hyped up. There's no reason to be hyped up at this point. They're working on something, but it's just as likely to be a slot machine as it is to be an actual video game, which is painful. It's painful. And this, of course, is after, people have been hyped up on Silent Hill, possibly Kojima coming back and doing this all over again. People have been talking about this for ages. Like, of course, with the Abandoned trailer, people were freaking out about that. It's insane. It's just insane. But what we do know is that the odds are fairly unlikely and fairly low that Kojima goes back and works with Konami again. They don't exactly have a great working relationship. Like here, unfortunately, Kojima's working relationship with Konami led to the developer leaving and the promising new take on Silent Hill being canceled. That was initially demonstrated in PT back in 2014. As shown by Edward8920, though, there may be a chance for Kojima to work on Silent Hill again. He tweeted out this picture, OMG, there's no way this is a coincidence. There's no way. I think it's happening. And hashtag overdose will be Kojima's new PT-style demo to announce Silent Hill. Fingers crossed. Because they show that this logo thing is similar. I don't know. It could just be 3 circles being another logo. I don't know. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. I just think whenever you're this level of hyped for stuff that you start to see these weird patterns everywhere and everything is a coded cryptic message, it's just exhausting. It's just exhausting, that's where I'm at. I don't know why or how this is fun. I think this is just tiring. And I think people in general, it doesn't lead to you enjoying the game if it ever comes out anyways. I remember being so hyped, and I talked about this at the time. I've been so hyped about Fallout 4. I followed Mr. Matty Plays' videos back in the day. You guys remember Mr. Matty Plays' original content? I don't know if any of you guys were with him back. Mr. Matty Plays Fallout 4 rumors. Let me see if I can find filters years ago. No, not last hours. No. Upload date. Invert. I don't know. Oh god. No, back. I'm just trying to find an old school Mr. Matty Plays video. 8 years ago. Okay. November 18th, 2013. I would bet you money that I watched this video when he put it out initially. I was this hyped for Fallout 4. 2013. He posted this. And old school Matty.
What is up, you guys? It is Matty here, and I am very, very happy right now. I am here to bring you guys some Fallout 4 news. I read this at 2 a.m. last night, and I couldn't sleep. I was so excited when I read this because I finally think that Fallout 4 is coming our way. We're going to get an announcement or something, just something on Fallout from Bethesda. I'm so excited.
These old school videos where you just record the audio over an old trailer or gameplay, and it's a 5-minute thing, and you just kind of ramble.
Really doing something in the works in the background. But yeah, that's the gameplay
Those old
right there. Now you
chunky
see Todd
360
Howard in his
controllers.
majesty in 2008. I love him. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited as I am.
Those are the days, man. When those videos were preem. I remember watching this video. Like, I was this level of hyped that years before the game would eventually come out, I was watching speculation videos, hype videos, just trying to get excited for it. And when the game came out, I ended up being like super disappointed because nothing would ever meet that level of hype. No, even if it was amazing, it wouldn't meet that level of hype. And it's the same thing with like the GTA 6 excitement, with hopes and desires around Cyberpunk, you know, that went nowhere. That level of hype doesn't serve anybody. So just don't do it. You know, try to maintain reasonable expectations, and it will be a lot harder to be disappointed. And so with this Silent Hill stuff, don't get yourself that crazy hyped. Try to maintain a level head with it, because it's not worth being miserable when the game does come out. You know, take it easy. This old school Fallout 3 gameplay though, for real. It's just funny. Fallout 4's current state in development 8 years ago. Oh yeah, you guys remember this old school thing that he would post? Did he? I don't think he ever used like face cam in these videos. Fallout lore, I remember that. My issues with how Bethesda handles rumors 8 years ago as well. Yeah, it was just like talking over basic footage. That's just funny. It's just funny. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. Those were the days. Then again, Fallout 4, Cyberpunk, plenty of other hyped up games are lacking plenty in several areas. Oh yeah, yeah. No, and I think like Fallout 4 now I can go back to it and I can appreciate parts of it. I think if I hadn't hyped it up so much, I would have actually really enjoyed the game. But I think because I was so hyped up, I ended up being disappointed. Because as like an adventure looter shooter, it's pretty good actually. It's pretty good. Especially with all the crafting, there's a ton in that game. But as like an RPG, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. And I just hyped myself up thinking it was going to be like a gritty RPG because some of the leaks suggested that would be the case, and it just didn't end up being the case. So I ended up being really disappointed. Thoughts on the IGI and the Wild Hearts trailers, Luke? Wild Heart, is that the EA thing that they just announced? Because I thought it, like, the pictures and stuff looked interesting. I don't know. With all of this, I'm just, I don't get hyped up. I don't, like, I turn my brain off when it comes to hype unless I see gameplay. Once I see gameplay, I think it's justified to start getting excited. You didn't even drop a like, Luke? Oh my God, you're right. Hold on. There we go. All better. Again, forgive the noise. It's just freaking hot in here. As it cools down outside, the AC doesn't need to run all the time for the house. So this room just ends up being super, super hot all the time. And it's why I got this little AC unit, but the AC unit is loud enough that you can hear it through the microphone. So it's just an unfortunate side effect. I'm sorry. I will try to figure out what we can do to fix it. Witcher 3 remake? Yeah, Witcher 3 remake. I'm hella excited for real. Have you seen the trailer for the new game called The Finals? If not, check it out. Looks extremely promising and interesting. The Finals. GameSpot trailers.
In the finals, if you can see it, our contestants can probably destroy it. The arena has loaded.
I do think I saw the trailer for this, yeah. It's made by former Battlefield developers. Yeah, it's like a game show. I think it looks kind of like a battle royale kind of thing. Closed alpha September 29th. Maybe I should reach out to them, try to get codes. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. If it plays as well as it looks, that thing's gonna slap. But that's the big question, is if they can maintain that, you know. Jacob, thank you for the 199. Appreciate you. When do you think we'll get gameplay for Mirage? I have to imagine we get it like, I don't know, like the fact we haven't seen anything is just so insane to me. Maybe we see something by like, I mean, again, Christmas. Why would they release it at Christmas? I don't know. I don't know why they would need to put it out by Christmas. Because there's no real benefit to putting it out around Christmas, right? So it makes more sense to put it out around, say, like a month or two before the game comes out, and just hold off. And I would bet that that's probably what they're doing, is they're just going to wait till like a month before. And I think the marketing for this game is going to be much closer to Odyssey than it was for Valhalla. I think you'll see a ton of stuff for like 2 weeks before the game launches, and then nothing after. They're just going to pull the budget. So I would guess that that's what they do. I'm vibing. You better believe it, Farrell. You better believe it. So I would guess probably sometime in like March or February, we start to hear, like we see a dedicated event where they show stuff off. They do preview events, give YouTubers a chance to play it, stuff like that. That's what I would guess. Yes, the HBO series. Yes, Rocky, you're right. Jacob's editing it right now. I'm sure he's actually already done with the reaction. So it's just a matter of when I publish it. After we hop off stream here, I'm going to be scheduling all of those stream clips. So the stuff that's timely and like needs to be up now, we'll publish today and tomorrow. And then everything else will be scheduled for the, throughout the week. So that'd be my guess. The issue with the noise gate is that, like right here, I can do it here. Hold on. Threshold. I can do that. It's like a little, it'll clip it a little bit when I come in. But it's like, it kind of works. Is that better? Do you prefer that? Get a mic like Linus Tech Tips. It only allows audio from a certain area. Dude, I used an MK, what was that mic called? Where is it? It was one of these. Oh God. This guy makes amazing videos, by the way.
Myself. So let's go ahead and talk about 22-300.
No, it was a Sennheiser.
600 is a great option if you can't. MKE 600 at $330. The MKE 600.
The one I tried was $1,000 microphone.
600 is a from Sennheiser. I've rented and used this microphone on a lot of projects over my
that
career,
looks like
but
it.
somehow I've never owned it, and I'm really excited to see how it stands up against all these other microphones. Before we get to the test, here's a recap.
MKH 416. I use this microphone for a couple of videos, and I think I might get it again to try some stuff. And if you watch that recent video, actually, on... No, that's not going to work. If you watch that recent video I did with Joraptor, you will see that he's actually using the same microphone. So this microphone is that MKH 416. That microphone right there. And it sounds great. It's very targeted, and it sounds tremendous. The issue for my setup though is that it's so accurate and it's so good that it like picks up the hand rubbing on the pad like this. You can't even hear that through this microphone because it's designed not to pick that stuff up. But the MKH 416 picks up all of that. It's why it's used on TV sets and stuff, because it picks up every little movement and sound. So for my particular setup, I just don't know if it really is the best thing. And to avoid this sound, I think it would still pick it up unless I set it up like there and it projected down. I don't know. We could try it though. We could experiment with it. It might work. It might not. The nice thing is I wouldn't have to move this in and out of the way. Like it would just always be targeted right at me. I think that could be good. So maybe we'll try it again. I don't know. But mics are a tricky thing. Getting sound working in a setup like this is actually way more tricky than you would think. The finals on Steam. Embark Studios. Yeah, it looks great. It looks tremendous. It's just, I mean, again, it's a matter of whether or not they can keep that level of quality up. If they can, I'm in. I will play the ever-living hell out of this because it looks tremendous. But, like, whether or not they can actually manage that is the question. What would probably help mask some of that noise is some light. Yeah, like that. This is all royalty free. This is that lo-fi hip hop. Let's see. Linus just upgraded to a better setup for his streams. Oh, good. USB connectivity doesn't matter. It's just the quality and sensitivity on the application he needs for his specific setup. Yeah. Zerfy used to really dislike your content, but now I like it a lot. Keep up with everything. Keep up the great work, my gamer man. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. We're trying to get better. That's the goal. Let me catch up on those comments on Twitch versus YouTube. I want to see this. Let's see. It was all the way back up here. Let's see. Quality is better. Okay. Don't see video compression to the extent on Twitch. Okay, that's good. I'm having less buffering personally, and it's always good to catch up on parts that I've missed, and I can quickly drop my personal quality to keep watching. Yeah, for real. That's... The transcoding is great. The fact that they don't have that available to everybody on Twitch is insane. They lock that behind a partner-only feature. That's unbelievable. Last of Us HBO teaser trailer. You'll see it in the reaction clip that'll go up on this channel later today. Assuming it doesn't get copyright struck for watching an HBO thing, but all told, like it looks fine, but it's just not meant for me. I know those games like the back of my hand, so they're not going to put anything that like is surprising or really interesting to me. So, you know, I'm willing to be surprised, but they just haven't shown anything that's like particularly baffling to me. Not many accessibility features in the Last of Us show. Yeah, boycott, everybody. Boycott. Like if you were on Twitch, I can barely watch, and some days I couldn't because it would or wouldn't load, but it loads better here and is slightly higher quality for me. That's good. That's surprising that Twitch just like it doesn't work for you. That is weird. But I've had that issue too, where like sometimes it's just being weird for no perceptible reason. For me, the biggest issue I think on Twitch is that there is no like pause and then catch up feature. Like just the ability to pause. Like if I'm watching a streamer, like right now, if you're like, oh, Luke's answering my question, but my dog is barking in the backyard or barking because he needs to go out and pee in the yard. You can't pause the stream, get up, let your dog out, come back and hit play and just resume and catch up. That's insane. Like the other day we had on Monday, somebody came in and they were like, oh, I was a little late to the stream, so I wanted to catch up. So he came into the YouTube stream, started at the beginning after we had been streaming for like 45 minutes, played it on 2x, caught up to us, and then just watched in real time. And that's amazing. That's great. Hey Twigs, glad to have you. Thanks for coming by. Have they even made a game since Metal Gear Survive? Only like the Football Manager Sims, Konami's made those, and mobile games and slot machines, that type of thing. I'm with Rocky. The UI is the only thing that bothers me. With YouTube chats harder to keep up with here because of the font being all white. Okay. That's interesting. There might be a plugin or something to deal with that too. Let's see. Rocky, even on dark mode, the sides, the bottom, plus chat is way too small. Chat is a lot smaller. I haven't found a way to tweak that. Plus as the mod options are limited. That is really weird to me, is that I don't understand why you can't like ban people. Like that seems like a big oversight for mods not being able to ban people. That's weird. You can time them out, but they don't let you ban it. That's weird. Mellow Plays. I feel old, but Jack series breakdown, Dream Vid. Oh, interesting. I think the odds are decently high that Sony does something with the Jack and Daxter series. So if they announce that, I could totally justify going back and doing it. It's just like right now, there's not a lot there. And yeah, Rocky, go run a poll. Go for it. If that works, yeah. Copy link. Let's see. Oh, so Ludwig has an extension for this. Ludwig's extension, mogul.tv 2.0, brings cool Twitch features to YouTube. Okay. Okay, 1.0 brings Twitch to YouTube. Ludwig's extension. So it just like reformats the YouTube video and YouTube stream to look like Twitch? Is that what it's doing? I don't understand, because that looks like he's on Twitch, but it shows Ludwig. Does it like embed it so you can't see? I don't know. That's weird. That's confusing. Literally just lets you watch his YouTube stream on Twitch with Twitch chat. Really? That's what it does? Interesting. So he made a plugin where it integrates the stream onto Twitch from YouTube. That's weird. Huh. Try this. Truffle, formerly known as Mogul TV. Okay. Install and visit, enable stream to begin using the extension. So I have to enable it on the live stream. Okay. Would that, like, I know that some streamers like Destiny, he did the thing where he made like, I think it's Destiny GG or something, where it's a website you can go to and it ties all of the co-streams together. We could, in theory, co-stream across the board, and we just have it on YouTube, we have it going on Twitch, we have it going on Facebook, and we have it going on TikTok all at the same time. We could do that, but I don't know if that would actually be ideal. I also just got a notification from Streamlabs saying Twitch is having issues with creators going live. So apparently people are having trouble even going live on Twitch today. That's funny. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, they definitely need some features added to YouTube to bring it up to the level of Twitch's chat for real. After the update Mogul 2.0 makes BTTV emotes work in chat, allowing you to type your Omega lols and Pepe laughs. Okay, that's very nice. YouTube's layouts are different in theater mode, making it quite awkward to read chat if you don't want to sacrifice the stream size. Mogul TV solves this by placing it side by side and eliminating the black space. Yeah, that is way better. The fact that's not a feature officially is insane. Then you can customize all of the chat stuff. Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. Okay, and does this work? Should we? Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna pull that up. MKH416. Maybe we try that mic again. I loved it. It was a great mic, but voila. Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep that pulled up so I can remember to look at it later. Twitch is dead. It's just like, it's so frustrating because they just need to do a couple little things and they'll be successful. Like, just don't cut pay for creators. Dare I say, increase it for the little guys specifically. Like, the big guys have had special agreements and special stuff where they get special treatment. They're special. We get it. The little guy has been stuck at these low splits forever. And so if they fix that, that would be a big improvement. The ads are way too aggressive. Like, play one ad, play two ads. 6 in a row is insane. It just is. Like, YouTube might play 2 in a row, but you can skip them if you don't find them interesting. Do something like that. Like, it's insane that you play 6 minutes and you have to sit out of the stream for 3 minutes. And because there's no pause or rewind, you're just screwed. Like, 6 minutes is unreal. Modding, yeah, they definitely need to improve modding. And I'm sure they've heard that, like, and I can't imagine YouTube staff would be opposed to improving moderation controls. Like, oh, you want to run your streams more professionally? No. Like, I'm sure that they'll be like, oh yeah, well, we'll give you the tools. They just need to get around to doing it. Halo Infinite review. I wrote one. I haven't made it yet because I was hoping they would come out with some like multiplayer updates and save it. But now apparently there's going to be like no new content for a year. And so I probably will do something. I don't know. I've got to figure it out. Yeah, apparently Dev, they're having problems with servers. Mello, I've been curious. Not too long ago, I got a giveaway winner comment on one of your videos. I was convinced it was fake. Did I miss out? No, you did not. That was fake. All over YouTube, tons of gaming creators are having spam accounts and bots make comments like that. They're all fake. Like, if I do a giveaway, I will announce it in a video, and I usually do the giveaway live and reveal the winner live. Like when I gave away those Horizon Forbidden West codes, I announced it in a video, and then I gave the codes away on a live stream. Like, I'm never going to do it anonymously through a weird account that nobody's ever heard of. Are you planning on trying Obsidian's Grounded? I tried it when it was like first released in early access. It was kind of buggy and weird, but if it's better now, I would try bouncing back into it. I believe all the viewers need to install the plugin extension for a better viewing experience, including polls and emotes. Okay. So everybody would have to install the Chrome extension to benefit from that. Okay. No, we're good. Have you played We Happy Few? Came out a few years ago. No, I heard what some people said about it and I just didn't bother. I didn't hear great things. I get 2 6 ads back to back when I hop into Nick Merck's stream. That's insane. Well, it's like, I think it's honestly why they have such high sub numbers over there is because like it's so inconvenient that people just throw $5 to their favorite streamer. They get the badges, they get that, and they don't have to sit through the ads. Like, but when your business model is making it so inconvenient to not give them money that you just end up giving them money, I can't imagine that leads to long-term customer happiness. Like, I think people leave eventually, especially when competitors offer a better product. You know, it's basically the mob. Like, you're gonna watch this and it's gonna suck, or you can just give us money and all of your problems go away. Just dumb. Like, and YouTube comes along, it's like, no, you don't have to give us money for that. We're just gonna make it better and easier for you to do what you're doing. Like, eventually YouTube wins that out. It's gonna take them a while, like, to figure out the little details, but still. I will tell you, like, the competition is really, really nice to see. I'm really glad to see that these different companies are giving each other a run for the money. Because, like, even this TikTok I posted last night, I posted a TikTok at like 6 p.m. Right now, that TikTok is at 117,000 views. That's ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous. And like, all of those are new people who probably have never seen one of my YouTube videos. Like, that's just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. How much do you want to bet YouTube will do the same thing? I don't know. TikTok link here. If you click on that link, you might have to copy and paste it because it has my name on it, so it tries to tag it automatically. Do I need to do like a bit.ly thing? Here, try this. Does that work? I don't know. I don't know. Try that. Have you played As Dusk Falls? I played it a few days ago and love to see some analysis and critiques on it from you. Yes, I actually took notes on it. I recorded my whole playthrough. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know why the links aren't like popping up as hyperlinks though, you know? Like that's weird to me. Okay, next topic. Let's see. Okay. Dead Space event info. Motive put out a cute little teaser. Jacob's notes say most likely it's just for the remake that's in the works, but he's a sucker for cryptic leaks and teasers. What with my veteran Five Nights at Freddy's experience. That's awesome. And then there's a little more info there. Okay, so first things first. With this, Tom Anderson, it was today. They got hands-on with the game for several hours. We'll post more details tonight if I get them. And somebody had tweeted him, any word on the Dead Space media event date? And he said it was today. That was on September 27th, yesterday. I was not there, so not me. Make us whole. Then they tweeted this little teaser. I don't know. I don't know what that means. So that's the thing. And then Insider Gaming released this article today detailing some more info, specifically saying that details are going to arrive mid-October. We're going to get more stuff. So we haven't heard a lot of stuff about it, like specific details on improvements and different things, but we're going to find out more. It's understood that the press had the opportunity to play the game yesterday and got hands-on with the title for several hours. Multiple chapters of the game were played and recorded, including the opportunity given to the press to interview the developers of the game. Some of this footage will be made public once the embargo lifts in mid-October, alongside impressions and interviews of the Dead Space remake. Initial secondhand accounts suggested the game is in a very good place and the game is a remake done right. Of course, we suggest it's best to wait for full impressions to release in mid-October to get a bigger pool of opinions. Yeah. And it's set to release January 27th of 2023 on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. We'll find out. I was not at this event. If I was, like, you guys always know, if you're like, hey, Luke, did you find anything out about X game? Did you go to the preview event? Do you have a review code? If the answer is yes, I won't say no. That's pretty much all you need to know. Like, if I don't say no, the answer is yes. Because if it's no, like, just no. Hey, Luke, did you get, like, a review code for The Last of Us Part 1? I can't say if I did or didn't, but if I did, I would expect some cool videos to be out relatively soon. Stuff like that, you know? If I just tell you, no, I didn't get invited, I didn't get invited. I didn't get asked to this Dead Space event. I also haven't, like, reached out to their media team to get involved there, so I can't really say I'm shocked. It is one of those things, like, nowadays, if you want to get that stuff, you usually have to reach out to them. The one exception I've had recently, that, like, even Ubisoft's been tremendous to me. And Ubisoft, I still have to reach out to and say, hey, can I get on the list for review codes for, like, Skull and Bones? And then they put me on the list and I'm good to go. Weirdly, the one company I haven't had to do that for in the last few months, Sony. Like, the hardest company to get on their list for that Last of Us Part 1 code. They just contacted me. I don't know why. And then I proceed to bash the game. Like, call it a lazy mess. So, I don't know. It's weird. The whole thing's bizarre. I take it as a compliment. Like, oh, they're really trying to reach out to people that they consider to be relevant today. And I guess I made it on that list to be relevant. So I appreciate it. I'll take it as a compliment, you know? Yeah, now I'm not getting another. Yeah, for real. I don't know. I don't think they watch. In case, like, I can say this, I won't say specifics of who it is, but Sony works with, like, another company to do it. So Sony doesn't have a team that contacts creators and sends codes out. Ubisoft does. So Ubisoft has a team of a bunch of different reps. They contact YouTubers and work with the YouTubers, and then they send you codes and you work directly with the company. Sony, they go with an outside company that juggles that for them. It's different. And so I don't think, like, Sony is watching the reviews and being like, yeah, give him another code, cut him off. Whereas, like, Bethesda, at least in years past, Ubisoft, the guys that give you the codes probably saw your video, which is a testament to Ubisoft. I mean, I called Valhalla a travesty and they still send me stuff and, like, treat me very, very well. So, you know, you never really know. Meanwhile, Bethesda bans me and doesn't want to talk to me. So what are you going to do? So Dead Space. Okay, and then this thing on Halo Infinite Battle Royale mode. Okay, so this, in case you missed it, people have been asking for a Halo Infinite Battle Royale for years and years and years. People have said that it would just print money, it would be easy. It's been rumors. My notes from Jacob say it's been rumored for a while now, and people, including myself, being Jacob, think Halo Infinite is completely effed right now in terms of content, which it definitely is. There's just not much to do. Like, I tried hopping into it the other day, again, because I was working on the video stuff, and I was just like, yeah, there's not much to do. It's just kind of lame. Like, I'm just not feeling it. So supposedly a battle royale was leaked in January. So the timeline for the work means maybe a spring release, but that's just speculation. People love to stick it to the companies with high potential and low quality output. So I say, let's get them. So this right here is the article. Halo Infinite Support Studio hint at a project that could be a rumored battle royale mode. They said it's something big and new for the franchise, but I can't say any more about it. Longtime Halo support studio Certain Affinity have hinted that they are working on something big and new for the sci-fi series' most recent and troubled entry, Halo Infinite. Certain Affinity exec Paul Sams made the comments in an interview with VentureBeat, adding further fuel to the rumors that a battle royale mode might be coming to the live service game in the future. Certain Affinity have contributed to many projects in a support role, including Amazon's New World and the upcoming Potter 'em Up Hogwarts Legacy. Quote, for more than 2 years now, we've been working on Halo Infinite, doing something that they're very prescriptive about what we can say. So it's secretive. But we're doing something unannounced. We're doing lead development on that unannounced thing from conception and design. It's something big and new for the franchise, and I can't say any more about it. Sam's added that whatever Halo-related shenanigans they're working on is the largest of the 3 projects they're currently working on, or they've currently got on the boil, with around 100 developers contributing to it. If the project is a Battle Royale mode, then that could potentially help to revive interest in Halo's live service offering, which has suffered setbacks and delays. Current Halo stewards 343 Industries have come under fire from fans and recently said goodbye to their founder and head, Bonnie Ross, who announced she would be leaving the company after 15 years due to a family medical issue. I know she said it was like a personal departure. Most people think that she was pushed out. That people told her, like, the exec said, it's time to go. This isn't working. So she found an excuse to leave. I don't know. I wish her the best. But I do agree. I think it was probably best for Halo that she leaves. It's been rumored for some time that Certain Affinity was involved in bringing Battle Royale to the Halo franchise. The studio has contributed to Halo since the second game and was co-developer on Halo 4 and Halo Reach, Halo Master Chief Collection. Certain Affinity revealed back in April they were deepening their relationship with 343 Industries and put out a hiring call for developers, and the company said at the time that they'd been entrusted with further evolving Halo Infinite in some new and exciting ways. What is this other than a Battle Royale? Like, I don't know what it could be other than a Battle Royale. Maybe I have telescopic vision and I'm just not seeing it, but there's only so many ways you evolve a live service title nowadays, and usually it is either NFTs or it's like a Battle Royale. That would be my guess. I don't know. They got to do something though. It's just not working. Let's see. Ed thought that Infinite should have just gone all in on Battle Royale in the first place. Quote, it's hard not to imagine Infinite's take on one. An enormous playground stitched together from some of Halo's most iconic maps of yore. Warthogs, mongooses roaming the lands, players racing in the M41 Spanker as it spawns, grappling to the rooftop and laying down cover fire. Some contrived reason as to why there's a circle of poison gas closing in, but hey, rings are what Halo does best, right? It's 100% doable. Yeah. It's 100% doable, and I think players would play the ever-living crap out of it if it used the same mechanics as the game. Like, just give us a Battle Royale. I said from the start, like, the game needs a Battle Royale to be competitive in the modern marketplace today. You just do. Yeah, it sucks. I wish it wasn't the case, but you just do. So the fact we don't have that is unreal to me, but it's not as simple at this point as just putting as just throwing something like this into the game, because you also have to have long-term support for the game. You have to have like a progression. You have to have it so the skins can be grinded for and gained through gameplay in the Battle Royale. So the whole progression system has to be reworked. All of that has to be taken account of. And I don't know if they will before this launches, but hopefully they're taking the time to do it right. And if we see it in a year and it ends up being great, awesome. More competition is always good. But until then, I don't know. But they got to do something different, because what they're doing now, this ain't it, fam. This ain't it. Hi, man. Do you think Mafia 4's supposed linear gameplay approach would be a step in the right direction? I think it would bypass a lot of the easy critiques people make, where they say that it's not the games aren't very good because they give you an open world and that open world is bland and lame. If you just kind of strip that down and you make it so you only give players this much, but what's there is really good, as opposed to this much, and this part's really good, but this part is kind of bland, I think it would end up getting better reviews, so I don't blame them for doing it. Bethesda Salty, you'd think a dev would value the opinion of someone who deep critiques games and use them to make the games better. I get you're just one of millions of gamers, but come on, Bethesda. Yeah, for real. And it might have changed, for the record, since the Microsoft buyout. I get it. And to be fair, 2018, I wasn't exactly... I wasn't delicate with how I put it. I called them evil. Like, I get it. I wasn't that politically correct with it. I was kind of mean. But I stand by it. I think what they were doing was kind of evil. And they knew that the game was a disaster. And they still chose to release it. They knew that the game was broken. They still released it. They knew that they were basically robbing their fans. And they didn't care. And that's no different than a scummy used car salesman throwing, a piece of crap with a major, cracked chassis and frame to the car. And then he sells it to you for full price and doesn't tell you about it. That's scummy. It just is. I don't care if it's gaming. I don't care if it's any of this stuff. It just is scummy. It just is. Bethesda accepting criticism would be new. They're not keeping with the times in some respects. Arrogance is one hell of a drug, man. Arrogance is one hell of a drug. And I think for Bethesda, they made Skyrim and they thought they were invincible. And then they put out Fallout 4 and they're like, yeah, people they're memeing on us. And then Fallout 76, they're still thinking we're the company that made Skyrim. And you can't think like that. It's the same exact problem that led to the issues surrounding Cyberpunk. The most telling thing was that interview that Jason Schreier posted about, and he said all throughout development, the team at CD Projekt Red would run into an issue, and then they would say, should we fix this right now before we keep chugging along in development? Should we deal with this? And the team would say, no. We're the team that made The Witcher 3. It'll sort itself out. We'll be okay. And they never did it. They were so cocky that they thought that they were special. And that doesn't work. It just doesn't. And I think the same thing happened with Bethesda. CD Projekt Red got ahead of themselves. Were overly confident, thinking, we made The Witcher 3. People say we're amazing. We're amazing. And it just doesn't. Humility is key. And that's one reason why I think From Software has been so successful. They constantly change things, even when they don't need to. They could keep grinding out another Sekiro 2, Sekiro 3. They come out, they do Elden Ring 2 and 3. But instead, they keep, shaking it up. Easy money. Bloodborne 2. Just more Bloodborne. At, 4K 60 frames. Do that. Nope. Because they have too much creative integrity for it, Michael, peace and love from Scotland. Dude, I'm jealous. I would love to go to Scotland. I want to go to Scotland so bad. We named Lachlan because the name translates to from the land of the lakes. And Nikki is from Minnesota, which is famously in the States called the land of the lakes. 10,000 lakes, technically. And I'm from Scotland, so it kind of works on two levels, right? We're both from the land of the lakes, and then Lachlan is from both of us, so he's from the land of the lakes. And, so it plays on two levels. But I've always wanted to visit Scotland. I'll do it one of these days. Maybe next year. I've said this before. I've been talking about it. As long as the economy isn't a total disaster. I've been talking about going to Gamescom in August, and then maybe just doing a month-long trip through Europe. I think it would be pretty cool. I was surprised by CDPR in that whole debacle, but at least Cyberpunk got worked on. They got humbled, but they accepted it. Yeah, Michael. They did, and I mean, that whole thing, they could make a movie about that, because that game, they had so many people on the team saying this is not ready for release. And somebody pretty high up said, I don't care, we're putting it out. And I just, it's too bad. Wild Hearts trailer. Yeah, we can pull that up. Wild Hearts, let's do it. Hardcore Monster Hunter World vibes. Which I'm all in for. I love Monster Hunter.
So, visitors to the...
There's weird little stuff going on graphically, like the hair. You'll see the artifacting in the hair as it pans up. I want to know what this is running on.
land of the East. You do realize Ozma is fraught with danger. The kimono grow ever more desperate. They battle for territory. They clash for prey.
It definitely doesn't look like a PS5 game or a Series X game. Like,
in you
it looks last gen.
is the power to stop this. In you, there is the seed of invention. You need only hunt. Trust that in so doing, the seed will soon grow. You will become a force of nature. And tame a world gone wild.
So it's Fortnite Monster Hunter. You can like build stuff while hunting monsters. Okay. Launches February 2023. I mean, it looks interesting. I would love to know what that's running on, because a lot of it looks last gen, if I'm being real. Base PS4, I'd be like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Being a next gen title, I think it looks pretty rough. Just a lot of stuff with like the texture work, the density of foliage, the number of polygons displayed is pretty low, like that. Smoke effects aren't very good. It can still be a great game, let me be clear, but graphically, I think it's a little behind the curve. But color me intrigued. I will be keeping an eye on this one. Like, it does look interesting. And if it scratches that Monster Hunter itch even a little, I am freaking in, because I need more Monster Hunter in my life. For real. For real. Oh, and thank you, Rocky, for this. Let's see. Okay. This is interesting. Let me make a note here. Oh, did I not copy it? Okay. This one, GTA 6 might have restarted development because of Red Dead 2. This is interesting. Posted on Game Ranks today. Quote, one of the biggest questions fans have had for years now regarding the whereabouts of GTA 6 is now regarding the whereabouts of GTA 6. It wasn't just a simple fan desire to play the next game in the franchise, but rather the previous entry in the series was released nearly 10 years ago, and there weren't any clues as to when the next one would be announced, let alone when it would come out. Then the leak happened and everything got turned on its head, including when fans now thought the game might come out. Now, a new report has emerged which indicates that there is more going on here than we thought. Interesting. According to an insider named Tez2, Rockstar Games has been working on GTA 6 for a lot longer than people expected. How much longer? According to them, Rockstar has been working on this game since before Red Dead Redemption 2 launched in 2018. That would mean the game has been in development for at least 5 years, if not longer. But wait, there's more. The insider also claims that the sequel to Red Dead Redemption caused the work on the game to start from scratch. Interesting. Why would another game cause the reboot of a different one? Multiple reasons, according to the report. The largest issue was crunch, or the amount of work it would take to take for the game to be finished in a short amount of time. Crunch is the infamous part of the video game industry, and many studios get called out when they do it to their employees. The initial version of the game had such a scope to it that the crunch would have been needed to get it done to the level that they wanted. That coincides with other rumors about the game that it would feature multiple countries you could travel to instead of just one city or state like previous iterations. Another issue that caused the reboot was technology that had been in the works. A programming patent was cited as the one reason that caused Rockstar to pause things. It was a program that would allow for more realistic behavior in NPCs, including how they acted behind the wheel of a car. The GTA franchise loves being in grand cities, so having realistic NPCs would be a big boom. Fast forward to now, with the leaks that have come out, and it's clear that while Rockstar has been working on the new GTA 6 for a while, they're still working on making the game that they want it to be. It's good that they acknowledge the flaws in what they had before and scale things back so that they can complete it without overloading their team. Hopefully, when the game does come out, it'll be everything we want, they want, and something that fans can enjoy. Interesting. This is compelling. I don't understand. Are they saying they lost the patent or that they got the patent? Another issue that caused the reboot was technology that had been in the works. So it had been previous to that. A programming patent was cited as the one that caused Rockstar to pause things. It was a program that would allow for more realistic behavior in NPCs, including how they act behind the wheel of a car. The GTA franchise loves being in grand cities, so realistic NPCs would be a big boon. So I'm confused. Are they saying they didn't get the patent so they couldn't implement it, or that they did get the patent so they needed to redesign stuff with it involved? That's not very clear. The saying like it was and it like would allow makes me think that they lost it. I don't know. But if they did get it, then I could understand why they redesigned things. Because if, like, to be clear, with this type of thing, if there's the possibility that another company's patent would be infringed by your system, they don't want to develop the game with that system being an integral part of it unless they know that they aren't going to get sued out the ass for it. Especially a game like GTA 6. If anybody could sue them over any bit of it, they would. It would just be a free, like, yeah, I want to be a millionaire now. Yeah, I'll sue them over it. So I totally get that desire to be careful with it. And if they got the patent approved, I could see why they would go and make that change. And I mean, it just kind of makes sense to like go back in and rescale on scope, because the idea that you're going to have, like, the initial design documents were saying like 3 countries, like basically all of Florida and then down into Cuba and then Central America would all be playable. It would be that huge stretch, and you could just fly in between Miami and then down into Cuba and then down, like you could just fly there in the game. I can understand why they were like, yeah, maybe this is too much. Maybe we should pull it back a little bit. And it's kind of a bummer because like, we would love it if they did that. But who knows? Maybe they're designing it in a way where DLCs can come, or like the online mode features that. Who knows? I doubt they're doing a DLC, but they got the patent. Okay, so they were waiting for the patent, and then once they got it, they came in and redesigned stuff around it here. Rockstar develops... here, share screen. Rockstar developers patent new NPC tech potentially for GTA 6. The patent filed by Take-Two Interactive details a new Rockstar developed system for managing NPC navigation with details explicitly referring to vehicle road routes and behavior. The patent was titled System and Method for Virtual Navigation in a Gaming Environment. Was filed by Take-Two in April 2019 and was described with and was recently discovered by a Reddit user after it was published in October of last year. The system described within it was developed by Rockstar's lead AI programmer, Simon Parr, and David Hind, Rockstar's associate director of technology. Okay. This new system is designed to create, quote, a realistic virtual world that is not limited by hardware or software limitations, which is a response to conventional systems that are unable to produce the kind of NPC behaviors players expect within the limits of our current processor and memory bandwidth. This is specifically in relation to traffic behavior. The patent details boats, cars, and drivers throughout. The system outlined would result in more realistic and immersive simulation of traffic. Of particular note is the system... is that the system means, quote, each NPC can define its own specific characteristics for traversing road nodes. These characteristics include understanding acceleration, brake time, distances, top speeds, and cornering speeds. NPCs and AI systems would be able to use these characteristics to generate more lifelike drivers on the roads of the video game world. Without jumping to concrete conclusions, it's possible that a system designed by Rockstar programmers for vehicular traffic system could be for GTA 6. The project is not mentioned. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Of course. Alternatively, perhaps the system has been built for the implemented into GTA Online. Unlikely, For context, the patent includes an evaluation of the current deficiencies with NPC navigation systems, noting that limited resources mean that the simulation is reduced in complexity. Current processing power and memory restrictions mean that NPCs, quote, fade out of existence as the player approaches the NPC. Maybe fade into existence? I don't know. End quote. It notes that current NPC systems only allow for a predetermined number of NPC-controlled cars, and that players of a video game would expect to see more than a predetermined number of NPC-controlled cars in a video game for a realistic experience. Additionally, the patent also describes the current conventional systems rely on behavior that has, quote, no high level of knowledge of traffic, which can lead to vehicles being unable to plan accordingly for blocked roads. The new system is designed to prevent situations like this. Interesting. I find that compelling. I've said it before. I think the natural evolution, like right now, we are at a spot where graphics are tremendous. We are at a spot where scale really isn't limited. Like procedural generation is endless. You can do whatever you want in a procedural game. No Man's Sky, you can do whatever you want and it works. So that's kind of not a huge frontier right now. Writing, it's just a matter of the talent at the team. I think cinematic quality, also pretty much endless capabilities currently. The natural place for big improvements to be made is in AI. And that's where I think these developers need to be pouring effort and money. If you have quality and like groundbreaking AI systems, that can sell a game now. I fully believe that. I think 5 years ago, it was the game looks tremendous. The graphics are amazing. Look at Anthem. How could that game possibly be bad? Have you seen how good it looks? Anthem is why that doesn't get you there. But I think now AI, if you can show like, oh yeah, did you see in GTA 6? Like if you go and like some people were saying that possibly you'll have to refill your car with gas stations and actually have to like manually refill them. If your car dies on the road, then the AI would be smart enough to be able to drive around you. Like police officers could pull up to you and create a traffic stop and actually like put up cones to help people navigate around you. AI like that's groundbreaking and awesome. That I think is able to sell a game. Not that GTA 6 needed any help being sold, let's be honest, but it's just nice to see that Rockstar, even though they could rest on their laurels and they could just do GTA 5 with upgraded graphics and it would do amazingly well, they still take steps to try and be groundbreaking, and apparently even taking steps to like completely restart development because they got this patent approved. And that makes me think, like, if this patent was significant enough that they decided to restart development, that's got to be something that they were pretty confident would be like game changing, pun intended. Like that's got to be significant enough for them to be like, oh yeah, I think this could be a total improvement that we need to tackle, you know? So that's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. GTA 6, again, it's gonna be utterly amazing no matter what, I'm sure. Probably monetized out the ass, but still amazing. That's just how they do. That's how they be. Yeah, the article's going up about Skull and Bones. I didn't realize that it was 5 times. Skull and Bones delayed for the 5th time. Five delays. Yeah, it was first revealed at E3 2017. It was set to release in fall of 18 and focus on PS4 and Xbox One. First delayed pushed it back to 19 to 20. It was delayed to 2020 again, and then again to 2021. And then it was later delayed to 2022 to 2023, and then it was given a November 8th release date. And then they just delayed it again to March. The game is like, it's freaking cursed. I mean, they just can't get this damn thing out the door. Those poor developers, they can't catch a break. They can't catch a damn break. It's unreal. I don't know. Like, I'll try it, Schmex. Like, the thing I was saying is, I think Skull and Bones probably wins over some of the casual gamers who are playing, like, Sea of Thieves. And I think for them, it might win them over. And, like, I could see playing this maybe for, like, a weekend. I don't think this is going to be something, like, I play for months on end. Like, even now, I pop into Sea of Thieves every once in a while. I'll get together with my brothers, and we're like, hey, you know what sounds fun? Sea of Thieves. Let's go dink around in Sea of Thieves. We go in there, we have fun for a few hours, and then we don't play it for weeks, but then we pop back in later. And like, that's the kind of game it is, where it's kind of timeless. Just jump in when it feels good. You know, it sounds fun. Let's go to play some of that. But I don't think that's what Skull and Bones has been designed for. Skull and Bones is trying to be like the new live service pirate game, and I just don't think it's gonna. I don't think people are that interested in it. Matthias, hey, greetings from Poland. Greetings. Cheers, dilly. For a weekend, the game unfortunately has not sold many fans who paid attention to this all this time to it. Yeah. Well, in $70, if they're coming out swinging for a $70 price tag, I don't think that works. That's it's like a Ubisoft Play or Ubisoft Plus, whatever it is, game that you play if you already have that. Like, yeah, this ain't it. I don't think so. Great thing about this stream stuff is that it's pretty much just a longer Luke Stevens video. Yeah, Zerfi, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just a really long, rambling Luke Stevens video. For real. And for everybody in here, in case you're wondering, the stream afterwards is unlisted, but it's still available in the Luke's Full Streams playlist on this channel. So if you just go to the channel, in the playlist, it'll be listed there. You can check it out. Go back, rewatch the whole thing, or you can just wait until we go and upload the the highlights and clips, because we're gonna cut this thing up and individual clips will be uploaded of all of this, so that'll work. I remember Babylon's Fall live services, man. It's just amazing to me. Like, everybody says, oh, live service is really hard to get into. It's really tough to make that work. And they like come out with the most generic idea ever. Like, the people that are okay, so I spoke with somebody who, oh, they're active. I know they watch some of this stuff. Hold on. Let me think about how to say this. Yeah, I'll be very vague with it, and I'll just try to be like professional, and I'm not saying anything mean, for the record. I'm revealing how the sausage is made. Okay, so I'll say that. So, sorry, just making the notes so Jacob knows that we did this. It's around 3:05. Okay. So I've spoken to a good number of people. One of the coolest things was when I was in corporate real estate and I was selling like apartment buildings and stuff. I got to know a lot of really wealthy people. And the thing about wealthy people is that they tend to have a lot of pots on the stove. They do a lot of different random stuff. Especially if they're really stupid wealthy, they just juggle tons of stuff. And they like, it's fascinating because you tend to have people who have really eccentric tastes and eccentric ideas and things. And that works great unless they get into again, I'm trying to be like very, very polite with this. Let me just go from the beginning. So I met this guy through corporate real estate. He was a very wealthy guy, and he was throwing money around at apartment buildings, at wine collecting, at cigar collecting, at Rolex collectors. I mean, this guy collected all sorts of random stuff and was juggling all of this. He found out that I did YouTube stuff on the side, and at the time I think I had like 120,000 subs or something like that. A decent sized channel. So he looked me up and was like, oh, that's super cool. And it was really, really interesting talking to him because he was interested also in getting into game publishing. So he started making some calls. I saw him again like months later when he came in to look at some deals. And I asked him about it again, and he was like, oh yeah, I found a guy. And I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And so he's like, yeah, we're starting a game publishing company and basically a venture capital firm. But what we do is the work of a publisher, but mostly it's financing. So we were like, okay, that's interesting. And what he said was basically that he goes out, and what they were doing is contacting indie studios and any studio that was looking for funding. And then they would write just a big check because this guy had literally more money than he knew what to do with. And they fund the development of the game. And then when it comes out, of course, they get the cut of the sales until they've recouped their investment, and then they get a royalty on top of that. And in addition, they also tend to get little stuff like, say, they get access to like the rights to the franchise in case there's merchandising opportunities, stuff like that. You would expect it. But this guy, love him to death, very sweet person. Love hanging out with him, love chatting with him. Like, he had no idea what would make a good video game. He just didn't. Like, he liked video games. He thought they were kind of fun and cool and hip. But it's like when your grandpa is trying to talk to you about the new Warzone update. Like, he's trying really, really hard, but he just doesn't get it. Like, it's that kind of thing where it's just not coming together, but you appreciate his passion. It's that kind of thing. And with this, like, he meant well, but that's the kind of guy that tends to be at the helm of these game publishers, and the guy making these big overarching money decisions is they tend to be the ones who are passionate about it, but maybe don't know everything, because like they had to make their money somewhere and they had to climb the corporate ladder somehow. And they didn't do that by playing tons of video games, critiquing them, making videos on them. They got to that spot because they were good at business, and that's what they were good at. And I think that's important to remember. Like something such as say like Skull and Bones crap and conceptualizations of weird live service games, those only get you so far, because the people at the end of the day who are making the decisions, usually they just are happy to be involved in game publishing and game development. And they are like passionate about, but at the end of the day, it still has to make good business sense. So as long as you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be the new, it's like that Cliff Bleszinski game that he made where it was like an attempted, what did they call it? It was like Gravity something, Lawbreakers. It was Lawbreakers, but it had like an anti-gravity system. It was something like that. And he was very passionate about it, and he went to publishers to get money to fund the game. And he said in an interview, it's in the Krabby Cat video, he walked in there and he sat down and he said, I want to make the next $1 billion IP. And he throws the design document down. And like, this is a guy that has a history in the games industry of making really, really successful games. So they believed him and just wrote him blank checks to figure it out. Yeah, he said it was edgy Overwatch. Exactly. That type of thing. And inevitably, the game wasn't that great, because somebody who understood the market, like I could have told you that Lawbreakers wasn't going to be super successful. It's like, yeah, it's a bad time to release the game. It's just, it doesn't stand out enough. Everybody thinks it's a DLC for Overwatch. Like, it's just not going to do well. I could have told you that, but he chose to go in there and just throw the money at it. The reason, actually, I think the reason why Donkey could be relatively successful in this is because he understands what a decent game is to play. And so if the pitch is decent, he should be able to spot that and throw money at it. Whether or not the business side of it makes sense, I think, is the question. That's what a lot of developers were saying, is like, I get Donkey is passionate about games, but I'm not sure if it makes a lot of sense. Justin Pettit, Luke, you're my favorite. Would say hi to me. Yes, Justin, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, my friend. I love your passion. I love your passion. I see you've been commenting. I love your passion. Thank you for coming out. I really appreciate you watching. Much love. So I think like what the developers were saying is like, Donkey doesn't have a history in the games industry. He doesn't know like the intricacies of game development. So like he might be able to tell what a good game is, but he isn't necessarily the best at figuring out how the sausage is made. But at the very least, if he can write the check, he can hire people that will help him figure that part out. So I think he's got the harder thing figured out. It's easy to bring in a business guy who says, oh, listen, they're projecting these numbers. They're saying that they can hit these targets. I don't think they can. I think this is going to lose money. And then Donkey's like, yeah, I get it. I like the pitch, but if it doesn't make business sense, it doesn't make business sense. And then they can go on. But you can't just hire somebody who understands the gaming industry. You can't. You can stumble on them, but that type of thing, you can't find that person on LinkedIn. And so I think that's just the distinction. And this guy that I knew through real estate, again, passionate about gaming because he thought it was really cool. He was excited about it. It was his new obsession. But he was the type of guy that would get super into collecting wine, and he would just walk into the wine store, whatever broker it is, and he would say, I'm a wine collector. I want to see your finest wines. He has no idea what he should pay for those. He doesn't know what makes the wine good or why it's good. He just has a ton of money and doesn't know what else to do with it. So he walks in and he's like, yeah, I'll take one of everything that's in your top 50. I'll take your top 50 wines. And then writes the blank check and he takes it, and then he calls himself a wine collector. Technically, he's collecting wine, but there's nothing informed or intelligent about that. It's just different than informed passion, I guess. It's like a temporary obsession, but a temporary obsession that he gets really into for 10 years. Any chance I could get his contact info? Yeah, I think he was the type of guy you call him, you cold call him, and he will rip you a new one, and he'll tell you go F yourself, and then he tries to find your boss, and then he tries to get you fired for cold calling him. But once he decides that he likes you, he calls you every day and chats to you about random stuff. Like, he's one of those weird, eccentric guys. Kind of scary, if I'm being real. Kind of scary. But a good friend to have, good friend to have. Like, if I ever went into game development, I'd probably give him a shout, try to get stuff lined up. Rather have a person who's interested in games to make a game rather than a person to invest into a game and to make money. Yeah, it's like, I mean, again, I think it's just at the end of the day, it's easier to hire somebody to figure out the business side of it than it is to just get somebody in here to like figuring out what is in the games industry and what the average gamer is feeling. Like, that's something where even research and polls and stuff, I mean, do you think like EA isn't doing surveys and looking at analytics data to come up with the latest game that they're doing? Or like that bizarre like, what was it called? Let me see, I already forgot. Oh yeah, the Blanco's Block Party, the NFT game that's on the Epic Game Store. This one that we talked about earlier in the stream. Like, do you think that they just decided to throw this together? Like, no, they did research. They ran numbers. They tried to figure out what was going to appeal to the widest swath of people. They really thought that this made good business sense because they invested millions into this. This doesn't just happen. This is millions of dollars making this happen. And every average gamer that you talk to says, oh, this looks like absolute ass. But they still invested millions in it. So just imagine what you could do if you had those millions to invest and you knew what the gaming industry was currently at. You knew what the money was, or what the market wanted. It's just that little distinction. That's why I think Dunkey could be relatively successful at it. I think he actually stands a decent chance. And people like shaming him over it. I mean, come on, guys. He's got a ton of money. And instead of just like going out and buying his 15th Bugatti, like XQC, he's going out and investing it in the little guy. That's awesome. That's great. Corey, it's just like that whole thing with Ubisoft where most of the devs said that putting NFTs in the games is a bad move because it's not what most people want. Yeah. And then Ubisoft is still like, oh, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. People are going to love it. It's the classic corporate speak of like when, again, that Evermore, was it called Evermore? Evermore game. No, that wasn't it. Gamescom. Everywhere? Is that what it was? Everywhere game. Yeah, this. They showed this off at Gamescom, and nobody has any idea what the hell it is. Because they show all this random stuff. It's like shooting, driving, Fortnite, building, arenas. Everywhere. Lincoln Clay. Time for a new world. And when they were asked about it, like, they couldn't explain what the game was. Yeah, everybody in comments, the comment section, looks like your typical metaverse game. Yeah, this is the most confusing game trailer I've ever watched, but I'm interested in it. I'm glad the Mafia actor finally got a good role. The guy's clearly talented. Yeah, for real. When they said it was like Ready Player One, they weren't kidding. It looks like an MMORPG where you can create your own worlds, as well as having the developers created worlds, create anything, build anything, everywhere, build everywhere. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it looks like it's your typical sandbox, where you just are expected to do anything. And what I would guess, if I had to describe it, I would assume that this ends up being something like, what is it on PlayStation? Dreams, I think it's called. Dreams, I think that's what it's called. It's that, you know, make whatever game you want. Yeah, it's super powerful tool. I would guess it's something like Dreams, but with NFTs, where you can like create your thing and design it and then sell it. Something like that. Dreams with NFTs. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? What happened to the Mafia actor? Oh, that's him at the end of the trailer. That's why people are like, oh, good for him finally getting a role. Because after Mafia 3, he basically disappeared and nobody saw him. Like, he didn't really have any other jobs. So, I'm glad he got a gig. Like, it's good. He was talented in Mafia 3. It's too bad the writing was kind of bland, but whatever. I don't know. I have a sneeze coming. What's this? What's this, Rocky? Arcane director pitched Thief 4, a Blade Runner game and a game inspired by Michael Mann's Heat. Huh. He created the Dishonored series, in case you weren't aware, but he wanted to make all these other games. Immersive sim genre, which is staple in most of Arcane games, so it's no surprise that the game designer pitched largely fall under that umbrella. The Thief series is one of the defining examples of the immersive sim genre and did eventually get a fourth entry in 2014's Thief, developed by Eidos Montreal. Yeah, the guy knows what he's doing. I'm really what is you guys what do you guys think of Redfall? Do you think it looks good? Do you think it looks ass? I'm really conflicted on it. Cuz I found Deathloop so lackluster. I'm a little less about it, but I've heard good things. It is interesting though, like what games were pitched and never saw the light of day. Yeah, there's so many. Generic. I still don't really understand what the game is even supposed to be. Yeah, Corey, it looks like Back 4 Blood by Arcane, but with like magic abilities and stuff. Like I'm kind of confused about it. Yeah, I don't know. Redfall trailer. 1 year ago, 2 months ago. This one?
Redfall used to look like it was straight out of a postcard. To be stuck on an island full of vampires? I'm glad it's with y'all.
What is it with games nowadays and bringing up student loans? Bro. I don't get it. Oh, we'll be hip like the cool kids. It's relatable. I can't stand it, man.
Some kind of collective consciousness.
Going up.
Let's finish this.
Xbox, PCs, and cloud. On Game Pass, day one. I will say, mouse and keyboard, I could see that being a lot better. It's really weird being recommended my own videos. I didn't realize that Bethesda's Last Stand video did so well. Huh. See, I kind of forget about it. I upload it, I set it, forget it. I upload it, set it, forget it. That's funny. Relatable? Yeah, for one country. Yeah, but it's America. It's the only country that matters. Okay. America built different. Yeah, yeah. America number one. Yeah, and school shootings. What? Oh, now I feel sad. It's like, yep, sure is. Yeah, Wild Hearts, we watched that. Yeah, it's just like Bill crippled. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. I'm gonna be real. Are all of Arcane's games the same, besides Prey? The whole thing around Deathloop was really interesting. The idea was cool, but like the story at the end, the final like plot twist that they reveal is super uncomfortable. Like really weird. Like really weird. And like it kind of spoils the whole story and all the banter that goes on, like weird stuff like that. And so that was a bit of a bummer. And then can I spoil it? I could spoil it. I don't know. Are there people playing through it right now? Okay, Juice is in here playing through it, so no spoilers. Play Dishonored both and give him a minute for people to leave. Okay. Here's what we'll do. Okay, everybody, well aware. Here we go. Juice mute. What we'll do, Juice, I'll be very quick for like 60 seconds. And what I'll do is I will go to like this intermission tab. This is while we're spoiling it, and then when I'm done spoiling it, I will like go back here. Okay? Does that work? Or hold on, just I can do this. This works better. Open image there. There we go. Okay. So while I'm here, I'm talking spoilers. Okay. There we go. Okay, here we go. So mute if you don't want spoilers, and then when I take this off the screen, we're not spoiling anymore. Okay, here we go. The whole game of Deathloop, there's awesome dialogue between the two protagonists that you can play as, between Colt and Juliana, who's the other character. You can play as both. Colt is like the main character through the story, and the secondary character, Juliana, she's like the multiplayer character if you want to jump in and hunt down Colts. It's kind of fun. It's just different. The thing is, the whole game, there's like really weird sexual tension. And they're like bantering, it's kind of like being slightly flirtatious, and you're like waiting for the big reveal. And then it turns out that like Colt's her daddy. And it's just weird. It gets really weird. Yeah, anybody who played the game can verify that that's true. I'm not making that up. And it's just, it gets so weird so quick. Because you're like, oh, kind of fun, hip, like flirtatious stuff. It's just kind of fun sexual tension. And then you find out, like, that's your kid. And he, like, didn't remember that because, like, his memory is wiped. And it's so uncomfortable. Immediately, like, the whole game you've been like kind of flirting with her and like it's been kind of fun and light. And then you're like, what the hell? It's so uncomfortable. And there's no reason for it to happen. It has like no purpose in the story at all. It's just like a plot twist for a plot twist's sake. Yeah, kind of like 12 minutes. Exactly, Clara. Where like at the end of 12 minutes, also spoilers, first 12 minutes, if you get a secret ending, so like the main ending, you feel pretty good. The secret ending, you get to it, and it turns out like your brother and sister, and you've been like, you're about to get married, or you just got married, or something like that. It's been a minute. It's just weird. It's just weird, and it's an unnecessary plot twist just for the sake of having a plot twist, and it's dumb. It's dumb. And so that spoils a lot of Deathloop for me. And the fact that so many people are like, no, it's just really cool to have a proud, like, gay. I saw this on Twitter the other day, or like a couple months ago, but somebody had tweeted out, y'all are just jealous. I think it's when I posted the video about like Deathloop not being a 10 out of 10. Somebody tweeted and said, y'all are just pissed that the black community finally has a power couple starring in a game. And I was like, guys, tell me you didn't play the game without telling me you didn't play the game. Because calling them a black power couple, it's his kid. They're not a power couple. God damn it. It's so funny because it's the immediate like reveal that they didn't play it, and they're just like virtue signaling, like immediately, it was so uncomfortable. But yeah, that's one of those things where Deathloop, I can totally understand why people are like, yeah, the story, wasn't super into it. Just let them dig the hole deeper. Oh, some people in the comments were just like, should we tell her? Like, should we tell her? Should someone tell her? And she's like, what? Tell me what? Y'all are just trolling. It's like, I guess no one tell her. We'll just let this line out a little bit. It was so bad. Need to wash my brain with bleach. Yeah, well, again, it's like, there's just no reason for it. It doesn't do anything in the story. It's just like a dumb thing. What do you mean YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, we're buffering. We might buffer for a second. Come on, bitrate. Why did my bitrate crash? Yeah, we do a little trolling.
We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
Is something trying to update? You're right. The bitrate did just like collapse. I don't know why. Normally when that happens, it's because like Steam tried to update something or something like that, but nothing like that happened. Stop sharing your bandwidth? Yeah, for real. Huh. I'm genuinely confused. I don't know. Maybe Nikki's upstairs downloading something on the PS5. Maybe that's it. I don't think she's home though. That's really strange. I don't understand that. It's recovering slowly. That is really weird. Maron, yeah, we're trying YouTube for this week, seeing how it goes and how people like it, how the audience likes it. And it's fixed now. Yeah, it was really weird. I don't know what did that. I don't know what did that. Yeah, somebody was not happy that I was bad-mouthing Deathloop, apparently. Yeah, I don't understand. Here's a quick tip to fix that problem. Step 1, unplug, setup. Step 2, contemplate your actions as a human being. Yeah, for real. Or what I did that one stream when we were playing God of War, just get the AC unit running on the same circuit as the whole streaming setup in the gaming PC, and then flip the breaker and completely shut down the entire stream accidentally. That'll do it too. That'll work. That'll do it. Yeah, man, I don't know why that happened. That's really weird. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny because I'm just playing and I'm like on the platform as it raises and having a great time talking to him. I'm like, yeah, and that's the thing about God of War is it's really good and it's just black. Just black. Gone. And I remember sitting there, I had the controller and the lights go out and the fan stops spinning and the AC unit shuts down. It's just silent. Like I knew immediately what happened. And I was like, oh, I'm such a dumbass. I forgot to turn off the AC thing. Your ISP got triggered. Yeah. Dude, I had to go into Verizon to get them to fix my phone the other day. And I cannot even tell you. Well, hold on. Maybe we do this as a dedicated video too. We could do this. Hold on. Okay. Turn that off for this. And then turn that down. Okay. So, let's do a little reaction review thing. Okay. So as you guys know, I've been going back and forth between phones constantly because I can never be happy and make up my mind. I have been using for many a moon the S22 Ultra. It's a tremendous phone. Love it dearly. It's really good. Really like it. It's a solid phone. Great camera quality. Spotted the UFO with this one. Love it. Rocky, appreciate you coming out. Get some sleep, my friend. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I then decided to try the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Give it a shot. I liked my iPhone back in the day. I had to swap it out for a bunch of reasons, but I like the iPhone. I've always liked the iPhone. Swapping between these things is an absolute nightmare, for the record, because this uses eSIM, this uses a physical SIM, and you can't just easily swap between them. I tried to using like the Verizon wireless online portal, whatever. Immediately they screwed it up so bad, I just completely lost service on both phones and couldn't text anybody, couldn't call anybody. And then when they would ask me like in support, I contacted support and chatted with them for 4 hours. They would ask me, oh, would you like, let's get access to your account. I'm going to send you a text message. Just verify and approve, you know, with the link that I send you that I can access your account. I was like, I can't because you disconnected service to my phone. So I can't get text messages right now. And they were like, sir, we need you to answer the text message so that we can get into your account. Otherwise we can't help you. And I was like, I don't have service because you screwed it up. So I can't verify. Like send me an email to the account that's on file. Like, no, sir, it has to be a text message to that number. They acted like I was being unreasonable by not being able to receive text because of their screw up. It was unbelievable. After like 4 hours of going back and forth with them, trying to get service back to one of the phones, I was like, I don't care. Just swap it back to the S22 Ultra. I'll set up the iPhone in person tomorrow. I don't care. They still couldn't do it. And eventually the support person on tier 2 technical support, like their high up team, they just stopped responding to me. After like 4 hours in chat troubleshooting with them, they just stopped responding. And I said like every 5 minutes, hello, where'd you go? What can I do? It's getting late. Please help. ... Please help. Are you still there? For like an hour. And then the little chat bot thing reset me, sent me to a salesperson, and it just appeared with a new message saying, hi, my name is David or whatever. What phone would you like help buying today? It's like, I'm confused. I was just with tier 2 technical support. I think I got rerouted here somehow. And the guy like immediately stopped using the templates for proper grammar because he just said, "K, I'll reroute you now. THX," like thanks. Just like send it off. And they sent me to another guy in tier 2 technical support, and he never responded to my first message after like 2 hours. So the whole thing was a disaster. I went to Verizon. The guy there was super helpful. He immediately set it up. But at Verizon right now, be warned, they do not shut up about this new internet thing they're doing, which, long story short, they basically give you like what is effectively a mobile hotspot for you to use cell service as your Wi-Fi. And they provide it to you and you pay for it monthly, just like Wi-Fi service, but it's through cellular service. For some people, I'm sure it's very useful. For me, I have internet grade service and I'm on a contract. I can't just change my internet provider. I told them this because they wouldn't shut up about it. It should have taken like 3 minutes to swap service back to this. Like they just replaced the SIM card and I was good to go. 3-minute thing. It took a solid 25 minutes because the guy spent 20 minutes talking about this stupid internet thing that they wanted me to sign up for. And I said, I can't. I have a 2-year commitment. I can't just swap internet providers, and you can't even reach the speeds. Like the max upload was like 4 megabit per second. I was like, that doesn't work. It just doesn't. So I was like, it doesn't work. And they said, well, the great thing about it is you can set it up as like a secondary backup Wi-Fi source. I was like, who has 2 Wi-Fi services? Like what? Who goes to Comcast and then goes across the road to CenturyLink to sign up for service? Nobody does that. That's insane. Like, come on. Like, you're really stretching when you're trying to pitch the service to me that way. Like, come off it. So finally he switched it back. It was fine. I had to do a factory reset because I was having some technical issues with this thing. I reset it and then I was like, okay, I'm ready to set it up again. So I went in the other day and had them switch service back from the S22 Ultra back to this thing and to set up the Apple Watch as well. Same exact thing happened. I walked in, the first thing I said to the lady, very sweet lady, she's hustling, she's trying to, I'm sure they get a bonus if they sign somebody up for the stupid Wi-Fi thing, but she was hustling. I can appreciate it, but she was very sweet. And I told her the first thing I was like, and before, because even the technical support people brought up the Wi-Fi thing to me, and I was like, before you go through your spiel, I've heard about the Wi-Fi thing that you guys are doing. I don't need it. I have a 2-year agreement with my provider, and your service doesn't meet my needs. So, you know, you can skip the spiel. I don't need to hear it. I get it. You're hustling. Your boss probably needs you to say it, but just tell them I said no thanks. You know, don't waste your time. So I absolutely understand. I totally get that. Like 2 minutes goes by. I just get so excited when I see that banner on your profile on the customer page that I can tell you about this Wi-Fi service that we offer. I was like, oh my God, don't even start, please, dear God. Yeah, it's just really cool because like even if you have a 2-year agreement, you can use it as like a backup for your Wi-Fi. It's great. I was like, okay. It just kept going and going and going and going. It never stopped. It ended up taking a solid like 30-40 minutes for her to set up service on my iPhone now and my watch, when it should have taken 5 minutes. But again, she wouldn't shut up about this stupid Wi-Fi thing that I don't need. Like, it was insane. I was like, I appreciate the hustle, but when your customer tells you I don't want that thing, don't bother. Like, listen to them. Like when I would cold call people in commercial real estate, I'd be like, hey, I have an apartment building available for sale at a 6 cap in Greeley, Colorado. It's, you know, brick siding, pitched roof. Are you interested? If they said, no, thanks, I'm not interested right now, but call me in 6 months, I'd be like, okay, thanks so much for your time. And I hang up. I don't go, well, but the really cool thing about this building is that, you know, with the building, even if you don't have the money to buy it right now, even if you did have the money, it would be a really good investment. They'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I just told you no. Like, take a hint, you know, you're wasting your time. Anyway, after all of that nightmare with Verizon getting it set up, I've been using this thing. I like a lot of the iPhone's ecosystem. I like a lot of what Apple has to offer. I think the general vibe that I would give is Apple has better software, Samsung has better hardware. The battery on the S22 Ultra, if you raise the resolution of the screen to its actual resolution, out of the box, it renders and puts the display resolution at like half to save battery. So once you actually use the screen resolution that's advertised, the battery is like hilariously bad. You also, like, if you crank up the CPU usage to full potential to actually use the full power, it's buried in the menus. If you turn that on, you might get 50% in like an hour and a half to 2 hours of use. Bear in mind, this phone is like 6 months old, so it's not like it's super old or anything. Something's also rattling when I shake it. Do you hear that? Is it the S Pen? I did not plan that. Huh. I don't know what's rattling, man. That's not good. Well, there's your problem. Yeah, maybe the camera with like the optical image stabilization. I feel like it shouldn't be audibly shaky though. I've never, like, I've done that before. I've never heard or felt it shake. Huh. That's concerning. Anyway, so this thing's been really good to me, but there's weird eccentricities with it, such as random rattling and terrible battery life. The iPhone, the battery life's insane. It works amazingly well. I do really like it. The camera quality is stellar. The dynamic island actually feels pretty natural to use. And Face ID is just freaking, it's preem. It's wonderful. I love the Face ID. It's tremendous. Like, just being able to quickly, oh, I need to log into this app and then just have it work is great. The S22 has like the fingerprint sensor under the screen. It works pretty well most of the time. But the software support across apps is super inconsistent because, again, Apple tends to have better software. Samsung has better hardware. But there are some weird eccentricities with this thing. Like, for example, when I watch YouTube videos, like, let's just pull up yesterday's live stream or Monday's live stream. If we go here and we're like watching a video, let me swap accounts actually to my personal, so my recommendations don't get screwed up. So if I pull up a video and it's like here, okay, it's playing. If I go swipe down and like audio devices, by default, it keeps going to the iPhone audio output, which is just the earpiece, not the full speaker. Why would I ever want to watch a video through the earpiece? That doesn't make any damn sense at all. So I have to manually switch it to speaker like half the time. Why on earth would I ever want to do that? That doesn't make any sense why that would even be an option for playing video. It's like it thinks YouTube is a phone call. It's weird, right? It's just dumb. The AirPods also, these are the new AirPods Pro 2, whatever the hell they're called. I can't keep up with it. But these are the new ones, proof positive. They have the little lanyard spot and the speaker grill on the bottom of it. They sound nice. I don't know if it's actually worth upgrading. It's just not that great. But they sound nice. Weird thing, like last night, all night, if you did the single press on the stem on either of the earpods, wouldn't pause, but the volume would work. Like on the new ones, if you swipe up, it increases audio. You swipe down, it decreases audio. It's really nice. Pause and play doesn't work at all on it. It's weird. And I've had that happen. Phone restarting, then it works. It's weird. Same thing with the AirPods Max, Pro Max, whatever the hell these are called. Love those headphones. Love them dearly. Amazing on a flight. Also, the play and pause randomly doesn't work. It's weird. And again, for Apple, normally they have the best software. And I tried Googling these issues and people are like, oh, just restart your phone. I was like, I shouldn't have to restart my phone every 8 hours. Right? And like, that isn't a hardware issue that it's having. It's not a hardware issue because like the audio routing, weirdly, that's a software thing where it's automatically sending the audio output to the like earpiece instead of the actual speakers. Random little stuff like that drives me crazy. But like the overall experience, I still really enjoy. So it's like I put up with it. Like, do I put up with the crappy battery and the weird shaking and rattling in the phone? Or that's so weird. Or do I swap to iPhone, get the better watch service and everything, and be able to use all of my stuff together, and just deal with random little software bugs and hope that they patch it and update it randomly? I don't know. I think at this point I'm liking the iPhone. I think I'll stick with the iPhone. But I'm baffled that this is a thing. I don't know. So yeah, that's my impressions. I think it's great, but it used to be like my 11 Pro Max. I didn't really have any major technical issues with it. I just really liked it. But when I swapped to the 13 Pro Max this past summer for like a week and a half, that was really weird, because it also had these issues. And then the new, like, coming along this year with the 14 Pro Max, it's also had these weird issues. And I thought maybe it's because I've been using the same like backup to download all of my text messages and all the stuff. Maybe it's that, and I need to just start from complete scratch. I'm not sure, but I don't know, I'm liking it. Just to be able to use like the AirPods Max, be able to use the Apple Watch, which is so much better than the Galaxy Watch. It's not even funny. Just that stuff kind of adds points in its favor to going with it. Like, honestly, I think if I ever invested in a like Rolex and I had a nice watch, that would actually be a very good argument for me to swap back to Android, because then I wouldn't have use for all the random accessories. But until I get a freaking Rolex, whenever, like 10 years or 50 years or never, I think I'll stick to this. So you guys converted me for the time being. That's where I'm at. Let's see. Yeah, the Apple Watch is most accurate health tracker in the market, period. The Quantified Scientist on YouTube for full scientific review. Yeah, it's tremendous. And the GPS tracking, Siri, everything, it just works so well. It really does. Did I see the new Intel GPUs at all, Luke? Yeah, they seem to be aggressive with the pricing. We'll see if they can actually chip away at the market. The reason I stick with NVIDIA stuff is because it has a lot of native support with the apps that I use, like Premiere Pro, and also the ability for shadow play and the native video recording through their GPU chips directly. That is great, and that alone with the NVENC encoder makes it very hard for me to swap to like AMD. But you know, if Intel comes out swinging, then I could be compelled. But more competition, the better. The more competition, the better. Try the Z Fold 4. I had the Z Fold 4 when it launched. I had it for about a week and a half. But a lot of the software issues that I described earlier came back full force. The problem is the Z Fold 4, if I had to describe my time with it, because I also had the Z Fold 3 for about 6 months, was that if I had to describe it, it's just a series of slight inconveniences when it should be one big convenience to have a bigger screen, right? Because like when you need to quickly text somebody, if you haven't seen the Z Fold 4, do I have the cases still? I think I still have the cases. Yeah. So this was a case for the Z Fold 3. I just have it in my drawer. So a case for the Z Fold 3. You see how narrow it is compared to like a full iPhone? It's very narrow, especially because the screen is only like this little sliver, right? The Z Fold 4, it's slightly wider, but not very much. So what it means is that like for typing and texting, like see how much skinnier that is? Like markedly skinnier. And if you have even slightly large hands, even average hands, you can't type very well on it. So when you need to text somebody, you end up opening the whole thing. But when you open, it's like typing on a tablet, like on an iPad mini. And the keyboard's huge and your thumbs are like moving all around to hit the buttons. It just doesn't feel very fluid. So you end up making the keyboard smaller, keeping it on the right side, and just using one thumb to type and to do the sliding, swift key kind of typing. So that's slightly inconvenient. And then like when you're just watching a video, you want to be able to just quickly glance at it, change it. Okay, cool. And then when you're like sitting down to watch a video or you're doing the dishes and you want the bigger screen, you can unfold it. Then you get the big screen. Problem is the screen is in this 4:3 aspect ratio. So if you're watching any modern content, it's going to be cropped with big black bars at the top and bottom, or you turn it sideways and it's got big black bars on the top and bottom as well, which I actually did a size comparison. Like the size of the video on the Z Fold 4 that I had was still smaller than if I played it on my S22 Ultra just with the phone set up on the side. So there was no benefit. And the only difference was that there was a huge crease going through the middle on the Z Fold 4. So like across the board, there were just like ever so slight inconveniences. And it was supposed to be like the easiest thing to use because now you have, now you've got, the bigger screen real estate and you can quickly unfold it when you need the extra space. But for me, it just didn't end up being very useful. And in fact, it ended up being more inconvenient than just having a phone with a single big screen because I had to unfold it, prop that up, things like that. And the only thing I really loved about it was being able to like have multiple apps open at the same time. Like I could have 3 apps open on the big screen at once. I could have YouTube in the top left corner. I could have, say, like, I'm trying to think of what the use case was. I think I had Google Docs in the bottom left, and then I had like a Google or a Chrome panel on the right side of the screen. And so I could like look through the Wikipedia page for a game. I think I was working on the Mafia critique script at the time. So I was trying to make sure I had the release date right for one of the games. I think it was Mafia 1. I want to make sure it came out in 2002. So I pulled that up and I looked at that and I was like, okay, the Wikipedia page says, yep, 2002. And then I click over on the same screen onto the Google Doc and I can update the date from there, all while I'm watching a YouTube video in the background. It was great. It was great. But is that enough to justify like an $1,800 phone and all the other slight inconveniences? I don't think so. I don't think so. Not for me personally. And like I said, it's all, there's no wrong answer, or I guess there's no right answer definitively in the phone market right now. There's a bunch of great options. It's all trade-offs. Like iPhone, you get the ecosystem, you get the watches, you get all of the software benefits, you get that. Android, you get the cool tech, you get the flashy stuff, native support through Google Apps. That's tremendous. That's a great perk. But you have to deal with other random issues. Lack of software compatibility and consistency, things like that. And the Z Fold, it's a great option. It's a cool talking point because like that, I started so many conversations with strangers who saw that and they're like, I've seen that in the commercials. Is it like, what do you think of it? It just was eye-catching, a great icebreaker, but there's no right answer. It's just what you personally find to be the best for your workflow, for your life, and it's going to be different for everybody. Camera's a big factor. Yeah, for the Z Fold, I will say the Z Fold cameras, the Z Fold 3 had terrible cameras, like horrible. I would actually carry around my old cracked Note 9 that I never traded in, specifically for the cameras. You see how cracked it is. It's so bad. You can kind of see through the reflection of the light. It's really badly cracked. But I would carry this around because it took better pictures than the Z Fold 3, which was like an $1,800 phone. And the S22 Ultra takes amazing pictures. The iPhone, of course, takes amazing pictures and video. So there's great options. Let's see. Uncharted movie, yes, Darkland. I did make a dedicated video on the main channel reviewing it the night that it came out, so you can hear my extended thoughts over there. Reviews I'm making soon. I have a couple things like we were talking earlier. I've been working on this this Halo Infinite video. I want to tackle a couple of older games, and then of course every new release that's coming in the next few months I plan to tackle and make reviews and critiques of. So look forward to those. Those will be coming. Sensor, yeah, much love to you too. It's crazy you guys hang out with me and chat with me like this. It's so bizarre to me, but I appreciate it. You know, I had a friend who compared iPhone to Honda that are reliable but lack innovation, where Samsung is like Hyundai who constantly innovate. Yeah, I could see that. iPhone is very reliable. At least that's been the perception. But like I said, this weird software stuff I've been dealing with makes me think that it's not actually that reliable. Like the fact that I've had those stupid issues, it's insane. It just drives me crazy. It's not that hard. Like, I never make it an option. I never want to watch a video with the audio only coming out of the earpiece. Get rid of that. Ban it. I don't care. Fix it. It's so dumb. Who would ever use that? No one. Oh, yes. Oh, Luke uploaded a new video. Awesome. Oh, he said, look at the... yeah, that game looks terrible. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, totally. Like, that's so dumb. No one would ever do it. Sorry, I'm getting heated. I'm so bad. Off topic, but your Galahad figure inspired me to finally bite the bullet. Just drop some money on the Bloodborne collector figure. Awesome. That's great. You got to treat yourself, man. And if you're a collector, be proud of your collecting. Yeah, I have my Sir Galahad thing right back there. Do you guys want to see Vil? Vil is out and about. I'm taking a picture of you, dude. Here. There's Vil. That's him right now. He's chilling in his terrarium. He's just barely, I mean, he's out of frame, like right past there. But yeah, he's chilling. He's chilling on his little hammock thing. He's a good guy, a good fella, good lizard. I'm watching the stream like that right now. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, great stream. Look, you pretend you're on the. Maybe it's specifically so you can pretend you're on the phone, so you don't have to talk to people. Maybe that's what it is. That, you know, actually, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to try that now. I'm watching a video. Yeah, no, totally, man, totally. Just talk to nothing. I'm at work watching it because it's super slow today. So thank you for the entertainment and commentary. Oh, Corey, I'm glad I could provide some help in this trying time. I appreciate it. Yo, Dad was here. Yo, what's up? Up, legend. Just tuned in. Thank you for coming by, my friend. We're rocking and rolling. I'm not a collector, but I've wanted a nice quality figure for years. Well, yeah, and I mean that little sliver of gaming history, you got to do it. I have I'm gonna have to start getting very, very selective with what I choose to have in here, because it's starting already. I have like two. I have two little cubes in my glass display cases left. I'd have to move my diploma, and then the other one has an old collector's item in there, but I could get rid of that and move it around. But it's a little tricky. I've had that bug with Microsoft Teams for some reason. Every time I play a video on my iPhone, the audio is played through the earpiece. Yeah, I think what it is there's something in the app where it's telling the iPhone that it's basically a phone call. And whatever that tag is for that audio, where it like, I have audio to play, Mr. Phone. And then the phone goes, okay, what kind of audio is it? If it's a video, it'll just play through either the speaker or the like AirPods if they're connected. It'll play through one of those. But for some reason, the YouTube video, it's telling it, oh, it's a phone call, so it can play through either. And by default, it routes it to the earpiece. And it's so bizarre to me. I just don't get it. What's your best guess as to why AC Mirage gameplay hasn't been shown yet? Not ready. I have a lot of mixed thoughts on it. I would guess it's probably because it's not that similar, or it's not that dissimilar to Valhalla. I think they've pitched it as being this return to form, and that it's gonna, like, they're taking inspiration from Unity's free climbing and free running. I I think it's going to probably disappoint people that it looks basically like Valhalla, but without the combat. Like I said, I think it's more likely that Mirage is just Valhalla missing stuff than it is something totally different. So I think that's probably what it is. Seen the video Ryan Reynolds put out about Deadpool 3? Yes, for real. I don't know what that's like, but I'll probably see it and I'll probably have a great time doing it. I'm watching from the In-N-Out drive-thru. Oh, you show off. You show off. Let's see. Bloodborne's very special for me, so it makes sense to get the Hunter at law. I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole with this. Might get more. Oh, yeah, you'll taste the forbidden fruit that is collecting statuettes. Yeah, it's a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous thing. So, yeah, facts. They definitely won't rework the wheel. They just don't need to. Like, I think they're hyping up people. They're selling the game in pre-orders off of appealing to nostalgia. And then when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, well. And that's what I would guess. So it could still be worth playing. It's just not going to be like this tremendous return to form that I think people are expecting. Go watch the video I did with Jor Raptor if you want to hear our extended thoughts on it, because that guy knows everything about everything when it comes to Ubisoft.